Just getting initial jobless claims from last week, 187,000 coming through versus 205,000 expected. So big print to the downside there again for the week over week number. Continuing claims for last week, 1.8 million versus 1.835 expected there. So both the initial jobless claims number and the continuing claims coming in hotter than expected. On the positive side, there's a lot of jobs and people back to work. Building permits for December, 1.49 million versus 1.48 million expected there. Housing starts as well, 1.46 million versus 1.43 just coming through. We're set to get the Philly Fed business conditions number, a bit of a minor number, but it looks like for the most part to the downside right across the board. We did have Fed's Bostic speaking earlier this morning. For the most part, from what I saw, some of those comments coming in on the dovish side of things from Bostic. There are a few set to come through again later on in the session as well. Apple gets an upgrade. TSM comes through with the first of the chip earnings, better than expected. And hey, all is well in the world. Market back to the upside in a decent way, but this print not really helping things as far as the jobless claims are concerned. A lot to get to this morning. It's Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there's the NASDAQ right now, back to the downside ever so slightly, still holding on to a decent number here, though, 0.87 right now in positive territory, most of which is coming on the back of Apple to the upside in a decent way here. On Bank of America, positive note, going to buy with their rating, increasing their price target. So I guess the buy the dip was yesterday for Apple, if you didn't get the memo, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, we knocked on the door of that 180, Brendo. Another Apple headline is that they're suspending the sale of their Apple Watch 9 Ultra 2, specifically with respect to the blood oxygen monitor. They're going to continue to sell those watches just without that feature. Good look there. And TSM, holy cow, 8%, and possibly leading the way for the chips here.
Yeah, a sign of things to come as we get more from that group coming up as far as the earnings are concerned. Let's just recap one more time here if you missed it. Initial jobless claims 187,000 there. That was that downtick in the overall market versus 205 expected. Continuing claims also a little bit hotter than expected there, 1.8 million versus 1.835. To the wrong direction as far as the overall price action in the market is concerned. We are off the highs here, guys, but still, as we said, nicely higher to start.
Yes, sir, and it's looking like a pretty decent start. Maybe the Bears are going to take a little bit of a vacation today. All it took was an Apple upgrade and TSM doing TSM things. So if you're watching the afternoon show, right about, I don't know, it was like 15, 20 minutes into it was like 215, 220. I think everybody saw that buying that happened, and it started in the chip names. AMD was running like crazy. It was making highs, just breaking out. ARM broke out. Like TSM made a monster rally. Even then, some of the growthier names started going. So, you know, something was up. Maybe there was some risk off in front of the TSM earnings, but somebody caught wind of that yesterday in the afternoon, and it was a strong move. We'll see what happens. I mean, good news. The initial jobs came. That's good news, but good news is bad. Apparently, yeah. At least I can't say that in actually.
17,000 on the NASDAQ.
17.
So we are, we're well cruising now. I mean, I'm gonna love today's market. I feel like because of Apple. So as the big guy goes, the market goes. So we're gonna watch out for Apple right now. 17,040. I mean, how good is that level looking like? We bounced our head off there a couple times last week, and now we'll see if we can. Or what day is it today? I get this week, last week, and then we'll see if we can get back up to this high of 17,150. I mean, I think we can get there today. I really like the market. I don't see why we wouldn't fall out. We have great stories today. The chips have been leading this market. We've been saying the chips, I mean, I've said for many months, obviously, that the SMH was what was leading this whole thing, and it just continues to break out. I mean, but here's the NASDAQ, here's the SMH. I mean, this is, again, you could look at SOX, you could look at SOXL, whatever you want. I mean, you're just starting to go higher and higher. TSMC, Broadcom, Qualcomm, AMD, NVDA. You know, they're all going to be here, and they're all going to continue to work. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this market. Apple right now, up through 186.50. Now you're going to get talk of AI. You're going to get, and if you live in the United States, man, just make the trip up here to Canada. You could buy this watch with the blood oxygen level there if you want it. I think that's a genius move.
If you need it.
If you need it. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a genius move. Get rid of that and don't even worry about it. People will still buy your product, and then they'll figure out how to incorporate it without any lawsuits or patent infringements and all that stuff, and they'll get it figured out. Apple always wins, and once again, it's winning here today. Great dip buy there, as the boys said, at 180.
180, man.
SMH should be shaking my head because that is a unbelievable move there for Apple. And yeah, I would say don't come at the king or you're going to get burned. And right now, Apple, I feel like, is not a short.
It's like they're still running those algos that when they see that headline come up, they sell instantly.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, wait a minute, let's just buy more. And then right through the highs. But yeah, great look for Apple, great look for AMD, great look for all the chips. I mean, right across the board, as the guys were saying, coming off that TSM number. There was also BIRK on the other side of the spectrum, down sharply off their report. Not a lot of volume behind this move this morning in the pre-market. The initial move was higher yesterday. We get up to $53 when all said and done. Now the call comes on. Some warnings about demand, some warnings about, they were even talking about supplies and being able to get more in. Back to $43 here, down 12% right now for Burkenstock.
Yeah, not many good IPOs that have actually lasted, Brendo, that ones that in 2023. I think ARM really being the only exception here. I was looking at CART well below its IPO price. Burkenstock, same thing. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one, down 11% already on the day. I wonder how much, the transportation issues going through the Middle East has the effect with their inventory.
Yeah, as we said, the initial pop after the close yesterday was higher. $10 off that level now, guys.
Yeah, yikes. And you know what? They actually guided for revenue was actually higher than expected for the year for Burkenstock. So maybe it is those concerns about supply. The other issue could just be, I mean, you've had some, tech goes up, retail goes down kind of stuff going on there. So there could be, you're already priced up at the top, you're at resistance, and we're talking about this in the evening, like how many times have we seen this last earnings season, and I think early on here, you're trying to take out highs, and you just, if it's not perfect, you're not gonna do it, and that's exactly what seems like it happened to Burkenstock. I don't know if the volume's gonna kick in enough here to be a great trade, but it's worth mentioning. When you get to 41.5 to like this 43 range, it's a wide range, but you get into that range, you're talking about the IPO open top, and then where it recently broke out from in November. So that's a kind of like a decent settle down zone. This could be one to look back like a day or two, and things will look maybe a little bit better. But with on less than 100,000 shares of volume for a $40 stock, this is not something you want to dip your toes to in the pre-market. It's got a decent sized spread, and since I called it up, I haven't even really seen a print.
I did not look at Burkenstock today, so I don't know. I'm going to be all about the tech names. I generally don't trade names off earnings, so I'll just take Neil's word as bond.
Yeah, we were just talking about Lucid. They were driving along Wellesley. Yeah. Anyways, VinFast just comes out with a very, very slight, it's not really doing anything, a very, very slight miss on their overall 2023 delivery goals. But you were really excited about this new SUV that came through last week at CES from them as well. But yeah, I mean, 35,000. I mean, 5,000 short of 40,000 cars. So I mean, it's not the worst number.
No, and we were kind of mocking this company a little bit earlier in 2023, thinking, that they weren't even going to come close to their delivery goals based on where they were at the time, because they were far off that number. Guys, I went to the mall this weekend where they have a store. They have two models there, the VF8 and the VF9. I personally don't like the VF8 at all. I kind of feel like it's an electric kind of Toyota Corolla. No disrespect to the Corolla, but the VF9, beautiful car, well-finished interior, and the design looks fantastic. The only thing is, it's $110,000 Canadian, Brendo.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I saw one on the Gardner. It was almost like it reminded me of a hearse. Like it's very like station wagon looking, the VF8. But yeah, VinFast guys, not really doing a heck of a lot on this, but decent.
I feel like you guys showed us a picture of the VinFast thing, but I don't remember it looking like a hearse, but that doesn't sound very flattering. And in fairness to VinFast, so this is my defense of when people were, I think there was a lot of mockery going on for this. And if that's the case, it had more to do with what the stock did when it came out. Like I don't know anything, I don't really know much about them. And Sharif has visited their showroom. I have no idea, but the stock went to like almost $100 out of nowhere and then came back down to earth. It was more about the crazy price action than anything else. And it's been doing what all of the other EVs have been doing since. Like every single chart I look at, with maybe one or two slight exceptions on the EV space, have been breaking down recently in attempt of making bottoms. So maybe it's just another one that made a bit of a wipeout bottom yesterday in a bounce and is gapping up. I think there's more intriguing names in this ilk to look at. NIO had a better bounce. Rivian and the $17 level will be in play. Like if you're looking for a trend down possible bounce zone, well, Rivian failed 17. And then this 17 held pretty much the entirety of the morning, and now you're sort of gapped up into it. Like that sets up, it could break out 17.20 and go. I mean, look, maybe VinFast can do things as well. It's just, kind of stick to what you like to trade. And I think Rivian and the NIOs of the world, if you're looking for the less expensive ones that aren't Tesla to trade, I don't think it'd be VinFast for me. If it does another one of those crazy squeezes, I'd probably pay for locates and see if it can't catch something, but outside of that, like that stock is definitely a pass. The great thing about the market, there's like in any sector, there is a stock that fits every personality, every style of trade, more or less. I mean, not every sector, but in the EV space, there's 31 flavors like Baskin Robbins. So VinFast to me is kind of like, what do I not like? I'm not a big fan of like peach flavored ice cream. It's too sweet. So yeah, I'll stick to rum and raisin. That's Rivian.
They're all at 52-week lows, pretty much, right? And so it's what Neil said is like I don't think any of them are investable, but if you're going to trade, I mean, I think they're all great for trades. So right here, like breaking $6, I feel like is a good level there for VinFast. The thing is like we already seen this name go. It was just, I mean, it's so sad to say this. Like it was just $9, 2 weeks ago. Now you're down to $6. So you've just lost 35% in 2 weeks. NVIDIA's up 35% in 2 weeks. Okay, so VFS. And this is what we said when we were doing the podcast. By the way, join us on the podcast as we're going to film that tonight, and then we'll show it on Saturday. We talked about, I said this was when Brendan asked me, I think it was December 26th or whatever the day was when we were doing it, what's going to work in the new year? I said the same things. What's not going to work this year? The same things. Like look at VinFast here. Obviously, I don't have the short float on here, so I don't know what it is now. But it was bad. We have share issues here with how many shares are floating around. Only 34 million. It's actually pretty decent right now, but the market cap of this thing is pretty low. Are they worth a shot? Maybe. You're at 52-week lows pretty much now. The 52-week low is 480 something or something like that. So we'll see what happens here with VinFast. I don't like the name. I don't like the space. There's only one investable name in my opinion, and it's Tesla, and that's had a rough ride as well. So, yeah, not super excited right now about EVs. I mean, where's Lucid? 3 something and change, 280 right now for Lucid. Like,
at least it's over $1.
That was insane. Like, look at this chart. Fabian, look at this chart. Look at this, $5 every day. Every day I'm hustling. This looks like it's Canada's Wonderland, like you get a new roller coaster ride.
Almost.
And it's just like, doot. Oh yeah, man, we're at the top. Bang to the downside. Yeah, it's pretty bad there. And I know there's a lot of people invested in these names. I have some shares in some of them. I don't even know what anymore. I think one of them is Fisker. They're all horrible. They're all horrible and they're dead. So take your money out and put it into Tesla immediately.
All right, let's bring in Luis Barbado from the Day Trade the World office. We're getting some charts set up on Sharif's screen right now. Joining us from Barcelona, Spain, once again. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, I'm pretty good. Brendan, how are you?
Fantastic. It's a freezing cold wintry January morning here, so I don't even want to know what the temperature is in Barcelona this morning, but I'm sure it's a lot nicer there than here. Luis, we have a ton to get to this morning. There's a lot of volume in small cap land. Once again, I was just having a look at this AGFY, which looks to me like there was a news headline I saw on this, but it looks to me like one of those ones we've been seeing over the past few months that does the reverse split, comes back into a prior level, and then tries to go again. So give me your thoughts here. AGFY to kick things off, 85%.
Yeah, it used to happen this, as you say, they pump it with news up, and they do the reverse split or the offering again, and then we go again back to $1 or $2. That's a pretty common kind of movement in this small cap world. It's a strong stock today, as you see, it's 80% up. It's a very tiny float. I think it's 1.5 million. It's rotating like 5 or 6 times the float already. So it's kind of a bomb about to explode. If it takes this high of the pre-market, it might be very, very tricky. Okay, remember 1.5 million shares, and it has been traded, I think, over 9 or 10 millions already. So it is dangerous news, of course, related, but it's also true that it's not a sector that is very volatile. I think it's engineering or manufacturing, something like that. It's not biotech, it's not pharma, so it shouldn't be so crazy. But with this tiny float and the volume traded, let's be aware if it takes this high of the days. If it lose VWAP and the volume, we will look for a VWAP rejection on the backside, on the short side.
Love it. Is it a key level, maybe as support? I mean, you mentioned VWAP there. Is there a key level as support that you would look at for this, that $2 kind of area standing out on the daily chart?
Yeah, absolutely. The $2 area and the VWAP. That's the two important levels we're going to check when the market opens. And of course, the high of pre-market, we will be a little bit aware of going short. It is also true that you see in the other chart, we have some daily resistance against to trade short as well. But taking into account the tiny float, save your money on the short side on this one. Only when it goes backside against some VWAP or against some levels, you can trust more the short side.
Great stuff. Let's move down the list a little bit further here. MRAI, another one. Right around that dollar mark, but a ton of volume again, already, 2.5 million on this one.
Yeah, as well, similar approach, but it's also true that it's only popping up 28%. It doesn't look like the news are so strong, so we are more confident on this one to go short against these pre-market areas to short it, and waiting very likely to lose the $1 area support, the $1 round number.
Sounds good. Anything else catching your eye here this morning, Luis?
Yeah, so let me share. I'm going to share the screen here and see if we have some in our radar. We create a radar in the academy, in the day trading academy. I think you see it now, right? Let me check. I'm sharing the screen now. There we go. We have some gap up, AGFI, as you say, right? Then we have some MDC, Roma. Be very careful with this stock. It's only 4 or 5 days in the stock market, moving crazy, $11 to $1 move the first day of the trading. And then we have LQR as well. We were trading yesterday. This stock very active, popping up. It moved from $4 to $4, and it tried to recall the $3 round number. Very interesting stock to watch. And as you see, AGFI is a very low short interest and very low institutional ownership, only 7%, but very dangerous if it reclaims the high of the day. And as well, another tickers to look is all Trump related. As you can see, BWAC, for example, PHUN, BKKT, all the Trump-related companies will be very, very active as well today, probably.
When it comes to, I know we're going to get this question, so I'll just jump ahead of everyone. When it comes to these types like that AGFY, for example, that are maybe up for the first day in a long time, doing all kinds of volume. A lot of people have this predetermined notion to maybe fight the move and look for areas above, in that case, when it comes to like an AGFY, where they can put on a short versus resistance or something along those lines. From a price action standpoint, what is it that you need to see when something is clearly strong, moving to the upside, that would make you want to fade that?
First of all, technical analysis, checking the resistance, supports, and VWAP. This is the three mainly indicators or areas that we look for. And of course, take a look on the level 2 on the tape reading. If you are an expert trader and you know how to read the tape, it will give you a lot of confidence on the timing mainly. Not so much about the price, support, resistance, that will give you more the VWAP and the resistance and support areas in the chart. But talking about the timing, it's more important than the movement. Timing and sizing, in my opinion, after 18, 19 years trading, I think is the two more important notions you have to take care of it. Timing and sizing. If you go too big or too early or too late or too small, the trade, it will not work. So it's more important than forecasting if it's going to go up or down. That doesn't matter, really, believe me. I know we're talking about the stock market, and how can you say it doesn't matter if it goes up or down? It does, but it's more important to be in the proper timing. And the level 2, the tape reading, gives you this timing when offers are popping in, refreshing hidden orders, trying to hold bids or offers. That will give you the perfect entry, the moment to go in the trade.
Well said. Exactly where I was heading. I mean, a lot of people tend to, say, "Oh, this has to do this," but it's more about it is doing something before you start to get involved and confirm that it is.
Sometimes we just want to be right,
Exactly.
to win the bet.
Exactly.
And actually, it really doesn't matter to win the bet or not. It's am I right or not? But I was in the moment when I have to go in or not. That's more important.
Luis Barbedo joining us from the Day Trade the World office in Barcelona, Spain. Have a fantastic Thursday session, Luis.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Say hi to Sean and Neil.
Will do.
You just did, Luis, and hi right back to you. And look, thank you, Luis, because one of those, when you make a trade, you just need to be right from the point of your entry to the point of your exit. Like, you don't need to be right on the day. Like, you could go long on AGFY, and it could break out and give you like 10, 15 cents for a scalp trade here. It could close the day at $1, like right back into $1, but you still had a winning long trade. So a good trend all day in one direction. You could have a couple of longs and it could trend in the other direction. So it's what it's all about. These guys, just because I know the sector it showed there, but these guys will do like vertical farming in the cannabis space. So maybe they get a little bit of a cannabis bump if you're looking at some of those names. But it's all about the ridiculously small float with this, so be careful there. And then we already talked about these yesterday with DWAC and Funware. I think they're still going to be in play. This time I actually saw you, Randy. Usually he sneaks up, but my peripheral vision was a little bit better today. The bulls are out.
Yeah, I put the bulls out there, but XOM's at 52-week lows, man.
Yeah,
I know.
It's fine.
We got average into that one. We got average into that one. All right, thank you, Randy. All right, cheers. I already went and got my own. You almost spilled your coffee there.
I
That
know.
would have been
Well,
pretty
my other
epic.
one was like half full.
I'm double fisting like I'm in the club. Yo, Luis, Luis, can you hear me? No.
He's still there.
Can you hear me?
He's still
Okay.
there.
Throw him back out while I talk to this guy. Is he ready to go? Yo, Luis, how's it going, my guy?
All good. I'm still here.
Good. How's recruiting going over there and everything? I feel like we didn't get a chance enough to ask you if you're hiring, what's going on like that, where can people find you?
That's great. Thanks for asking. We just hired 6 new guys this month.
Wow, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll be training them for 3-4 weeks here in Barcelona. And 2nd of February, we're moving to a new cool office in the city center. So you're more than welcome.
I was gonna say, why don't I come and cut the ribbon? We'll bring we'll get the media there and everything like that. We'll cut the ribbon. We'll get the mayor. Be quiet, Brendan. I'm going.
The mayor.
We'll get the mayor there to cut it. We'll get
the president.
We'll get everything.
They have a president or prime minister.
Yeah, exactly. But why I wanted to ask you here right now, I have a show called the Market Recap Show. And we don't really have anybody that covers small cap, kind of low float names. So I'm going to ask you right now, if you can, would you come on the Market Recap Show one evening so we can discuss some of these small cap runners?
Count on me, no problem. I will be very pleased to be there and have some fun and share some knowledge with you guys. That would be great.
Perfect. All right, we'll get that all scheduled up. Thank you so much, Luis. Thank you for coming through again. And it's one of my favorite segments because it's an area of the stock market that there's a lot of traders who watch the show and here at Day Trade the World like to look at those names. So I want to thank you, Luis, for coming through one more time. Luis Barbado there in Barcelona. Thank you so much, my friend.
Good luck trading today.
Thank you very much, guys. And it would be very nice to do some live show from Barcelona someday when you visit us. We trade in here and we share to the people from Barcelona.
We love it.
Let's go.
It's on the bucket list, that's for sure. We'd love to visit you because the weather is a little bit nicer all year, which I enjoy.
Thanks, Luis.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao,
See you later.
Ciao.
Good, man. That's the thing. Hiring 6 new. You've got the markets moving. They probably had some fun. I'm assuming they had some fun with funware. But that's the other thing. We're just talking about flavors of stocks and flavors of trade. You see what they do on a daily basis. Every time Luis comes on, they stick to what works for them, which is what is in play that day that's doing gaps in volume for their style. You're not going to see them. And I want to speak for everyone in that office, but you're not going to see Luis care too much about, say, Apple or Tesla. But when it comes to when funware is going, or DWAC or Agfy or whatever these companies are, they're all over them in that moment. So, fantastic. We love having them in there. And while we were talking there, the NASDAQ kind of dipsy dude underneath and back above that 17,000. I think we're going to do some dancing at that level throughout the day. But we can go on over, see what led to this market up. I'm assuming on the upgrades and downgrade list, we're going to have the biggest one that caused some of this mess.
Yeah, lots of heavy hitters on both sides of the upgrades and downgrades list, but we are led off today by Apple. First upgrade of 2024 here from BofA Securities after a couple downgrades to kick off the year. Microsoft also getting an upgrade today, another Mag 7 name on this list from Exane BNP Paribas. Pinterest getting an upgrade from Argus, trading a bit higher off of that. And last but not least, AMD continuing to have a great week here after an upgrade from TD Cowen. For downgrades, Exane BNP Paribas with 2 here, Adobe and Adobe and Shopify. Spirit also getting a downgrade here from Citigroup, trading much lower after the buyout with JetBlue fell through, continuing to feel the effects of that here. And last but not least, Charles Schwab getting a downgrade from Keefe Bruyette after its earnings report yesterday, guys.
BNP downgrading Adobe. Interesting. So sometimes you're just like, most of the times you don't care about the nuts and bolts of why they're doing it. It's just like, is it moving the stock or not? And that's all I give a darn about. But in this particular case, I'm a little bit curious as to what they're saying about Adobe, because this is one which has been on, I think, a bit of a bounce play. And you know what? I guess it's in still a bit of a downward channel. But above 600, this was looking like a potential breaker. At least until the last couple of days, looks like it's been failing the $600 level. Yeah, maybe you get a downgrade and it goes to the upside, but look at that 600 level on Adobe. If this was a more day tradable stock, you get above that price, you've got some room to really rally. That one kind of sticks out. And we knew all about AMD, we knew all about Apple. Shopify probably doesn't surprise me too much there on the downgrade side. You've been seeing some retailish names under a little bit of pressure, but yeah, a little surprised by Adobe.
Yeah, whoever that was that upgrade or downgraded Adobe, obviously they were listening to the podcast because I said Adobe is going to be a play this year, so they just want to bring it lower so they can buy it higher, right? So that's good. I'm already into a couple hundred shares here of Apple. So let's see what happens. We're already long. I like the 186 level. It just dropped into it. It's up 2%, so I am a little bit nervous about it possibly falling down, but a couple hundred shares won't do anything. So we'll wait to see what happens here at 185 possibly as a stopping spot if that comes through. I basically will. I mean, I won't get shut down. It's too high. My shutdown's too high. But I'm willing to hold this to see what happens here with Apple. So we'll wait to see. I don't think it goes red today down to 183, right? So a couple hundred shares to start the day off with Apple, and we're going to see what happens now. Probably won't average in now until we get back below a little bit here. The market you know, the thing is that we got going there, and then the number hit obviously at 8:30, and we kind of reversed back down through right now. So there's 17,000. So this is the one thing here that's a little bothering me about this Apple trade, which is why I'm not going to get any more right now, is that we are well below now 17,000. I know we're only 20 handles, but we came back up and tested it. We should have broke that. We should have gone back up to the highs. So I'm not bidding anything else right now. We're going to wait to see if we can get out of this Apple at some point. Might have to take the volume off open in order to do it. So we'll wait for that right now. But yeah, hopefully the market bounces a little bit and we can get some more love here for Apple.
We were just talking about NIO. I also can't stop thinking about tapas now. There was some passenger car sales data that came out overnight from the China government. 21.6 million units, 5.6% increase year over year. I was just noting NIO. I mean, this daily chart looks horrible, but NIO up 4% here. Not a lot of volume behind it, but anyway. Let's get into everything else we need to know here as it's 9 o'clock. Shreep's going to kick things off, as always, with a look at the market.
47.72, that's where we closed out yesterday on the ES. We're above that right now. But look where we held up yesterday on the ES, that 47.50, the area that we talked about, hence the arrow. That took us back all the way to December 20th when we did bottom out at that 47.50. So I'm going to say the same thing again. Look, for, if we continue to tank off this jobs number, look for a hold at 47.50. With respect to resistance, we couldn't break through 4,800 overnight. 47.97.5 is the overnight high. Look for resistance at the 100-point level at 4,800.
All right, let's talk individual names here. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that. Very easy. Go to watchlist.tradertv.live. You enter your email address, and then that just appears every day in your inbox for free. Just seeing that AGFY at day highs once again. TSM, the main chip name in focus today, rightfully so, coming off earnings. I mean, as we said, they're all sharply higher. AMD up more than 4% at this point. NVIDIA as well. A ton of volume behind both of those at this point, but good report here for Taiwan Semi.
Yeah, Brendo, they beat on the top and bottom line. However, revenue and income both down year over year on the quarter. Let's have a look over here. With respect to revenue, 625 new Taiwanese dollars, 625 billion new Taiwanese dollars. It was what they reported. The street was looking for 618. However, like I said, revenue slipped 1.5% year over year on the quarter. With respect to income, Brendo, 238 billion new Taiwanese dollar. The street was looking for 225. Net income dropped 19.3% year over year on the quarter. The guidance, though, not bad here. They're looking for 18 to 18.8 billion US dollars for Q1.
Don't look now. Here comes day highs, basically across the board. That's AMD, obviously, but all of them, guys, starting to go again.
52-week high for TSM, and it's a monster level at 111 that this could be taking out here. So once, twice, this will be the third time testing it since 2022. You can see you got a ways to go till you get to that 145 peak. So that's what it's got to cover at the open. That's the problem. Like you're up 7.5% and you're at the highs on an earnings day. I feel like there could be some profit taking at a big level like that. So you look at like pre-market lows or something along those lines. The good news for if you looked at some of their numbers, and I looked at just a couple of things. One of note was their U.S. 73% of their revenue from the U.S., which is the highest it's been since 2022. In a weird way, that's a good thing for Intel because that kind of dominance is something that they could actually beat into and start trying to capture. But TSM is just way ahead. Their market dominance for fab is just unbelievable. So they're going to be in play. They've lifted, a rising tide has lifted pretty much all of the ships. We were talking specifically in the afternoon about AMD and ARM. ARM was the one I had in the afternoon because it consolidated and broke higher, which most of the other names didn't do. Like AMD consolidated up at the top. Most of the names either did that or pulled back, but I saw ARM go to a fresh high. It went up at 70. That's where it closed. I like the 71 level on dips. I like the 70 level if things get completely out of hand, but I feel like a bit of a temporary bottom just got made in ARM. AMD's at its all-time high. If it were to open right now, you have an all-time high close. So the previous all-time high close was 161.91. I think that stands out. So if it gets down to 162 somehow, I think your support becomes that all-time high close. But you got to be patient looking for dips in AMD. That's what the last couple of days have taught me. When you go dip buy hunting in AMD, you don't need to be early. You just need to be patient, and you need to have it eventually. Not necessarily like get the absolute bottom. You don't need the absolute bottom when you're dip hunting on that stock.
All right. We're already going here on Apple, so that's going to be good. Today, if you're looking for some trade ideas, of course, you guys know to go to the sticky note. And today we have Intel on there, breaking 47.25. I really like that break. I think if we can get there, then we will be able to get to $48, which would be a decent break. It looks like Intel's trying to get going on that operate now. So here we go. This is 47.25 right here. Feel like if we can break that, then we do make that move up into $48. So right there, 47.25 for Intel. It had its day in the sun up here north of 50. I think we can get back there, especially with all of the chip names absolutely burning. So yeah, that's a long for sure. 47.25 there for Intel. So let's let it go. See how high we can get going on this name for Intel right now. 47.25 is the name that I like. I mean, or is the play that I like. But you guys can see that and go find out why on the sticky note. And then just NVIDIA, like wow. I mean, this to me was pretty. Like I said, we got something out into here in case it was a fail. But like NVIDIA is just such a banger trade, man. I mean, it just continues to go to the upside. You short this name at your peril, and it is what it is. We should not be shorting this name. All you should be doing, like Neil was saying, and by the way, there it goes. Even on Apple, I'm taking a little bit out here as it's going up just to try to pay some fees and let this thing go back up to the upside right now. But anyways, NVIDIA down here to 570. We've seen it gave this gift yesterday. Unbelievable that a gift was 550 there for NVIDIA as it starts to go back up to the upside right now. But here we go, 575 incoming for NVIDIA. And if you were on the sticky note, then you're long Apple at 186 or so. So we just got a couple outs right there, very, very light amount of shares. We'll trade the most shares of Apple around here, but I'm going to try to hold for a bigger move to the upside in and around 187. And then as we go, I still think we can get to that 189 level here today. And then 190 might be an issue. So we'll wait, we'll figure it out, and we'll keep going. Did I just fire shots at Adera because she keeps shorting NVIDIA? I lost money shorting AMD yesterday. It was the biggest loser on the board here of the whole office. So there you go. So no, I didn't even realize Adera was shorting NVIDIA. But I think when you're learning and in sim mode like the midday show, I feel that
take fills.
Yeah, I feel like you want to try to figure out what strategies are going to work best for you.
You know what?
And
actually,
the biggest trade for me. Just one second. The biggest trade for me this week was that AMD short at 160 once it baselined. That wasn't the biggest trade, but it pulled back down $3, $4, $5. So I can't blame the short. When you look at the chart, it seems ridiculous. It's like looking at the Lucid chart and saying, why are you going long?
Well, that sort of thing. But the other thing you do in simulation is you practice setups.
Yeah.
So like think about this for a split second. Like if you're practicing, say, a mean reversion trade, like this is, I'm looking for a specific short off the top at a key price level, back into VWAP, whatever it might be. Like if you're practicing those executions, sometimes you just want to get the mental reps in. So if I was doing that, like I'm practicing mean reversion in sim when I was starting as a trainee, like you would take something which was going into a resistance level because you're practicing mechanics. You want to see what happens during that move. It's just, it can make some sense to me anyways. But just one last, before we move on, only because it's not on the watch list, I'm just going to throw it on mine for a second. DraftKings up 7%. It's continuing to go here. I don't know if we get to $39, but there's your 39 high back from November. So this has been streaming for the last couple of days. And now it's within $1.50 of this $39 level. I don't know if there's going to be a dip buy opportunity in DraftKings today. I would have thought when I sat down, I'm like, oh yeah, when you're gapping like this, go back into previous highs, that kind of nonsense. But I don't think you get that. There was a buyer at 37. Maybe that could hang on. But there's room till you get to 39 on DraftKings. And this has been on an absolute tear. I think I heard some chatter about what the heck's the parent company for FanDuel again, that European company?
Oh, I don't know.
There was chatter about them IPOing. There's something, I heard one thing about that, so maybe they're getting it.
Because they're already a public stock.
But they're not in the U.S. You can't
In
trade
the UK. I think.
Yeah, but they're not here.
So they have to have. They probably have.
What's
an
the name
ADR.
of the company?
I don't know. They probably have an ADR.
You guys know the name of the company. It's FanDuel's European parent
Wait,
company.
just Google it.
Anyways, I could probably just Google it myself. But there was a little bit of that chatter, so it's probably giving DraftKings a bit of a bump. But that's now on watch for me.
Than Spotify. Anyway, there's a few things came out there at 9 o'clock from analysts. Late note there from Bernstein on Meta. We'll get to that in a sec. Morgan Stanley as well upgrading Hertz, pointing directly towards them selling some of their Teslas to address some of that demand. VinFast as well with a positive note after those delivery numbers. There's a couple other ones, but we'll continue along. Let's go to, hey, look at that. Apple's next. Watch 9 and Ultra 2 back on the shelf. Apple going to sell it without the oxygen, blood oxygen sensor, as we said. I mean, if you're already going to buy an Apple Watch, does this even matter? Obviously not.
I don't think so, and especially if you're in the U.S., you can just buy it from Canada if you want. The restriction is only into the United States. No, but in all seriousness, the injunction that Apple actually had from the court was removed yesterday. So as of yesterday, that injunction to prevent Massimo from enforcing their win against Apple for the blood oxygen sensor got removed. So Apple took it into their own hands, and they're taking it off the shelf for now. Now, with respect to the upgrade, Brendo, very interesting here from Bank of America, increasing the price target to 225 from 208, upgrading it from neutral to buy, basically saying that the cycle of upgrading iPhones is strong. You're going to need the latest hardware in order to run all this AI that supposedly is going to come soon, and as well as the services, Brendo, over 2 billion devices, active monthly devices that Apple can monetize through services.
Yeah, crazy number. It'll be impressive. I mean, the challenge I think they're going to have with the phone specifically is they're running out of things to upgrade. They're running out of things to change and make better and new and different from year to year to year. So anyway, still just massive numbers for Apple, guys.
There's a reason why this is the #1 name. It's the reason why this is hopefully going to be my #1 stock today. It's the reason why we have the shares that we do. The market is actually pretty simple when you get news like this. Now, I don't know if it's going to continue this way, but for the open, I think Apple gets bumped. So that's why we're long. I just took another piece out right now. I still have 90% of this trade. It's just we've averaged into it. So we have more shares than we were talking about. Let's just wait to see what happens here. Hopefully it goes up. Our average price is 186 and change. Look, I didn't even care about the price when we came in today. I love the news. We're above. I mean, we looked at this 186. I mean, we got that's where we got long. I don't know if we were going to punch the long here at 187.50, but if you're not long now, then you are going to be punching this long, because I feel that this is great news for Apple. It's up 2 and a bit. You get Bank of America on the upgrade, and there's no bigger FOMO stock in this whole damn market than Apple. Okay, I mean, sure, NVIDIA, all that kind of stuff. But if you're not long NVIDIA, then that FOMO is past. You already right now, you just missed 180. You missed it there. This is the FOMO I'm talking about. It comes into 180 there. You missed it. It goes to 188. It comes back to 180. You missed it again. Now it's back to 188 again. Next stop, $200. Like what? I don't see a negative catalyst for Apple. It's ripping to the high side right now. Who cares about the blood oxygen thing? Like I said that to Sharif this morning. I was like, I bought the watch. I was buying it for my wife no matter what. She hasn't even mentioned the blood oxygen thing. Obviously, it's cool, but that's technology. Apple will get it figured out. They don't need to pay Massimo for this. Let them produce the watches. Get them sell all the ones that they have. Sell those ones in Canada. Sell them in Europe. Sell them in Asia, and then just don't sell them in the United States. Meanwhile, they'll have their engineers figure out exactly how to get this blood oxygen level monitor so that they do not infringe any patents, and then they will release that watch the next time around. And guess what? AI cycle. I mean, they have 2 billion shares, or 2 billion people,
users, yeah.
User base. So now they're going to make everybody, and me, and you, and Sharif, and whoever has an Apple device to upgrade, not you, yep, to upgrade to the next cycle of AI. There goes Apple right now. Let's go. I'm just going to keep on talking about it. All right, so we just got a fill up there at 187. right now. So let's just keep on talking about how good Apple is, and then maybe the stock will continue to move higher. There it is right there. We're $1 in the money. Let's spin the early dollar club. I know my guy Patrick right there has thousands of shares. We're starting to go right now. It's 186. We're long, and here we go on Apple, man. It's not a hard one. What's up, Kat? What's up, everybody right there? It's been a good day so far, and we're just going to keep it going.
That's what we like to see for sure. Look, Apple, they're going to win. I'm not in the ecosystem. My entire family is. I'm like the well, we're the black sheep when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, Apple up 2%. I can't remember maybe it's happened. I can't remember the last time we looked at it in the pre-market at this kind of a level, and it ended up red. So I don't think you can care about the previous closes or anything like that. The only thing I'm looking at is right in here. The last time we're at that price level, you had chop to 185.5. So to me, this is my buy zone at the open is in 185.5 into the 186 level. Like that's where ideally I'd like to be picking it up. I don't like the breakout. I've never really taken breakouts on Apple, to be honest with you. So I'd look for the grip and rip if it can just stair step it to the upside. I think I would tend to agree 190 is a 50-period moving average. That's an ugly looking daily chart, but it's a 50-period moving average. You get to that price, you're probably going to have a bit of a wall of sellers in there. That doesn't help any better. So the 190 level, I think that's the only level I would think about shorting the stock. And it would have to be like a grip up there. It would have to go a little parabolic into that level. Like if Apple goes to 190 and it's like within it just kind of goes there within 30 cents and then it hangs out at that top, that can be a bit dangerous. But if it like screams into the level a little bit too fast, then you get that first short, you get the rubber band effect. I think that's sometimes the safer way to short a strong stock into a big level is just to get that profit taking when it goes there too fast.
All right, let's talk Google coming out with more job cuts through YouTube to quote unquote enhance operational efficiency. Sundar Pichai comes out then and says in a quote unquote leaked memo that there may or may not be more job cuts to come later in the year as they need to tighten the belt and tighten the purse strings a little bit for Alphabet, but still 1% here this morning.
Yeah, 2023 was the year of cuts, Brendo, when they laid off about 6% of their workforce, 12,000 jobs. More to come this year, sadly. In a memo, as Brendo mentioned, Sundar Pichai basically said to his employees, we have ambitious goals and we will be investing in our big priorities this year. The reality is that to create the capacity for these goals, we have to make some tough choices. So sadly, it looks like some people are going to be losing their jobs.
As we said, Google higher, not really doing a heck of a lot. Oil, on the other hand, just ripped up about $1 straight to the upside. Not seeing anything on it, but 0.9% higher now for crude oil.
See, every now and then, crude can do some good things. But Google, crude oil, you'd think it would be probably recovering a little more than it is. Alphabet's been having trouble at its 52-week high, but it's still climbing. What I like about it, you got the higher lows, all that good stuff. It has not been an explosive stock recently. So generally speaking, if there's one of these that you could think is going to be inside of a range, it might be these guys. It can't break. If it breaks 144, I think that's when it gets a little bit explosive. So without breaking that level, I think you're in scalp mode on Alphabet. And what I love here is 141.5, 141.5, 141.5, close at 141.5. I don't think we see the 140 level. That was a big one in the afternoon when everything started to go. This was at the 140 and bounced there, but 141.5 is setting up for Alphabet. I think I have a few other names that I like a little bit better for a trade. But if there was a dip, I think you go grip and rip for that stock. 144, that's probably a safer short than Apple at the 190.
All right, Mr. Westermeyer, thank you so much for the comments on the Apple trade. Awesome trade, he says. Thank you. And you've also mentioned that you just hit your third day in a row upside for you in the morning. So that's great. Yo, what's up, Dan Emmons? It's his 42nd birthday. Keep those bulls running, my guy right there. Another year older and another year wiser. I feel the opposite for myself. I feel like I'm getting slower, but that's no, that's not true. All right, the watermark below on the video feed is flickering again. Okay, we'll get someone to look at that. Attention, Fabian or Ramin, if you're around. Apparently the video's not doing that well. Okay, happy birthday, Mr. Dan Emmons, as we'll go on that one. Okay, so here we go. Say what's up to Baelish there. Google right now, 142 long. It's on the sticky note with all this talk about efficiency and layoffs. We like it. I like the name. We have AI on our mind today as Apple right now. Let's go again. Right now, starting to go up to the upside is Apple. We took out another piece. But here we go. Or did I? I don't know. 142, I like it. I'm bidding those exact same levels. I'm bidding 142 right now because if I don't follow the sticky note, every day on the recap, we talk about sticky note review. Yesterday was 4 for 4. So we're going to try to do it again today. Watch out for 142. And then I love that 140-150 level. We're sitting there as well. So we'll have 2 tranches on this. The first long will be 142. The next one will be 140-150. And then I'll be digging my grave when it breaks through 141. So let's watch out for Google right here. I like the stock. I like Google. But I like this stock a lot better. It's Apple right now starting to get upside, and I did not get another piece out, unless I did. No, that was that same one. So we got a 95 fill already here on Apple. But let's go. Look what's here. Just this is why I trade what I trade, right? Every single day I trade big cap tech names. And look what's on the board. Chips, big cap, right? Apple, Google, Meta. And then a random IPO that just reported for the first time. So big cap is what's hot today. There's a lot of other names.
You could probably throw DraftKings instead of Burke. I think that's a more interesting trade than Burke.
Yeah. So you can throw DraftKings, but that's another sort of small to mid cap. But all right, you're shorting Google Dar. Yeah, it might be good. And I do like Intel breaking 47.25 as well. But really, my whole day will be on Apple. Like if Apple breaks lower, we're gonna have to watch out for that 185 level on Apple. Like this, I have to be wrong, right? Like if Apple's going to break lower, then we're just gonna have to get out. So I'm gonna wait to see what Apple does in and around that 185 area.
All right, let's go to Meta here. Sheryl Sandberg officially leaving the board of Meta after vacating the COO role going back to last year, I wanna say.
Yeah.
Probably early last year.
2022.
Yeah. I also saw that note right at 9 o'clock there. Bernstein coming out with a price target increase and a positive note and some comments on Meta as well. Other than that, the chart looks great still.
Yeah, Meta was, it's almost $1 trillion company again, awfully close, guys. Yeah, Sheryl Sandberg used to be referred to as the only adult in the room when she joined Facebook back in 2008, when everybody that was in the startup at the time was still a kid. Basically just thanking Mark Zuckerberg and the entire team. She stepped down, as you said, in late 2022 when started getting bad headlines for misinformation with respect to the election and COVID, and she bowed out gracefully at the time, now leaving the board.
Any trades here today, guys, for Meta?
Man, I like the 367 level on Meta. That's pretty much, like the afternoon told you a lot yesterday. When you have, what the heck? Okay, that's my 3-minute chart doesn't want to cooperate. We'll stick on the 15-minute. You learned a lot in the afternoon in terms of the prices that we got to and eventually broke. 367 was the opening top. It was all afternoon, it was that top. It got a late break and then the close above it. So unless you're dipping back in here to that thick 67, I feel like there's going to be a few other more pertinent opportunities out there. Like Meta is very slightly lagging the NASDAQ. It's 0.6 versus 0.7. So it's not necessarily the strongest of names. I'd look for a key price, wait for the key price levels, be patient. You know what happens if you get too early there. I don't think this is not a huge story. Sandberg's gone. She's kind of like reduced the role a while ago, so I don't know that that's a gigantic story. But the 367 level is the one I'd be watching here today. Don't have a short idea for Meta. I think if with the market strength here today, you've got some weaker names that on pops are going to get shortable levels. I'm thinking of things like the Affirms and some of the EV names as opposed to trying to pick a top on Meta.
Yeah, I like that 368 level. I don't really want to go short anything there today. So I'm going to wait on all of that. If you are looking to go short on something, I actually retweeted this. Make sure you follow me at TraderTV, Sean, for all the content. This was 52-week lows yesterday. XOM, Alibaba, NIO, Lucid. Like, look for these names that continue. JD, Yum-C, Chinese, like a lot of these are Chinese names on here, right? As well as obviously XOM. So BP, energy and China names is where you're going to look if you are going to look short today. That's where I would look if I was doing that, but I'm not really on those names here yet today. Look at XOM. We just talked about Meta. 368. Buy Meta. That's it. You can do it if you want or not. But look, we just had Randy on. He's trying to buy this name as well. Don't know if he's in or not, but we've seen some, EV names getting crushed. Now you get oil names getting crushed. Like you would think with all the problems in the Red Sea, typically this was supposed to have created an oil boom here a little bit, but instead we're filling up at record low prices, it seems like, right now. I think I just filled up at like a 52-week low at the pumps around here. So
that was a good price.
That was a pretty good fill for me. I'm even worrying about look at those two guys sitting there nicely in their little chairs there. That's really nice. I quit. Yeah, you know what? If I had like probably a couple $100 million in stock options, I may, and I was, there. I don't think they're that much older than us. Sandberg, anyways. Zuckerberg. How old is Zuckerberg?
Anyways, she's old.
Yeah. The thing is that they're not going to make too much of a difference here for Meta. So
she's got not profits that she can roll with. So.
Oh yeah. Everything's all good. All right, Meta buy 368 if you want.
Not a lot of volume, as we were saying, behind this. Burkenstock moved this morning, but down significantly back to 44, 44.50, I guess, these levels on the daily chart. This has been pretty successful overall, back to 52. As of the end of the day yesterday, overall, I mean, the number is pretty good for Burkenstock. They were pointing towards some supply concerns, but down significantly here, still 11%.
It was a really good report, Brenda. It was the guidance that got them in trouble here. They're guiding 1.74 to 1.76 billion euros for the next quarter. The street was looking for 1.88. So you see the sell-off there, almost 11%. But with respect to actually how they did on the quarter, they did quite well. 6% increase in the number of units sold. The average selling price grew by 14%. Their direct-to-consumer business grew markedly, Brendo, at 29%. So it was a good look for their past quarter. It's just the next quarter that's in a little bit.
There was a few notable IPOs last year. This was one of the more successful ones, guys. Still positive.
All right.
So
time to eat, baby.
I think you go for the three. I think you go
time to eat, baby.
I can't even. I try to choose.
For us, it's time to trade. For Sharif, it's time to eat.
Well, look, man, I'm hungry too, but we got to be hungry for some trades in here, and I don't know that Burkenstock is going to be the one for me. I got to be honest with you. I know it's down 10%. Usually, I'd be thinking SSR bounce for a stock down 10% like this, but if I'm looking for an SSR bounce, you want volume. It's done, whatever. You guys know it's not doing a heck of a lot of volume. But Plug on an offering is doing volume. It's done 4.5 million. They dropped an offering, which is what I guess companies in this position will do. They got to raise some funds. But I'm looking at the post-market high, 217, and the $2 levels. If we drop back in there, I'll look for those little bounce plays where you can risk a couple of pennies off the low, down more than 10%, which means it is going to be short sell restricted. So I think that's going to be in play. No questions asked. And then we were talking about the Chinese names. Well, Alibaba here, we know the 70 level was really good 2 days ago. That'd be Tuesday. And we look at the top yesterday at 69. I love where the dip buy happened and occurred in front of 68. If it gets back down into like this 68 even level, I would probably look for a long bounce. Doesn't mean I'm just going to sit there in front of it. I want to see it bounce, then take a higher low. But yeah, 70, I like the short. On Alibaba if it tries to get there. I think Pinduoduo's too far out of pocket now, but in the back of my mind, just because I do not want to miss out on it, I know what Pinduoduo did at that 136 before. And if it does break this 42, I wouldn't be surprised. If it's can't hold on to the 42 and the Chinese names go down, I wouldn't be surprised if PDD had that big of a move in it. But you got to be patient. I'd rather take a shot at 70 Alibaba short than PDD. And same thing goes with NEO at $7. If NEO gets back to 7, which I don't think it will, I like that fade.
So we have a little bit of a movement here in the equity of some of these names. We got to watch out because we just got into Google as well, as that just came down into 142. So we're going to have to be like pretty specific with what we're trying to do right now. TSM now up to $112 as that's starting to go on this bid. Look at this. Wait till you see this move. There it is. Well, just bumped up there. I thought it was a little bit more aggressive. Up 8.5% is TSM right now as some of the names starting to fall in just a little bit here. Apple's back to 186, so there it is right there. It's a good thing we took something out, but again, we were only out about 20%, not even. So we'll take a little bit of a reload down there, and then we'll have to watch out to see what Google does right now. We don't have we do have a decent position. Again, depends. When I say decent position, it's going to be, I'm talking about like my own portfolio. Like I might have a decent position, might be oversized for others and undersized for others. So everybody trade your own stuff and you'll get it all figured out. But we'll have to wait. Apple, so like I said before, this could drop in, right? I mean, Apple has China worries. Again, they're not selling the watch over there, so we're going to have to wait to see what does in the United States. We're going to have to wait to see what happens right now with all of this. But hey, man, we have Google long, we have Apple long, so yeah, man, we are tech ready right now. And then, of course, the biggest and the baddest of them all, NVIDIA, still up that 2%. I feel like we've had some dramatic moves down in NVIDIA off open. So I think you could probably pick something up if that does happen. And then the buy all of the breaks, the only one that I have would be Intel. And if that breaks above 47.25, we do want to take some of that as well.
Yeah, the only break I have is, oddly enough, Rivian, but I'd probably look for a fade off that 17.21. That's what the level that held the entire afternoon. But let's get the countdown going. It is 3, 2, and 1. Ring it.
All right, we're open now, and we're just going to wait to see what does exactly happen. And there goes Google just ripping to the upside right now. Let's go spend a little bit of money now for Google as that's ripping upside. So what we lose in Apple right now is we're at 186. For some reason, Google continues to go higher here. So we'll take some out. We did have the same amount of share. Well, we actually had a little bit less in Google. We'll take some out there at the 40s and 50s and see what happens now. As there goes Apple dipping into 186 again. Let's see if we've got this one. But right now we do have Google and Apple. And right now we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. So let's go.
AMD just wicked the high. AMD just broke the high of the day and went back down $1
Go Google.
in an absolute heartbeat. You're getting some rejection on Tesla. Tesla was the big mover to the downside right away. You're getting some rejection of previous close, so it's actually holding on to 215. I'm going to throw that one in there. If we get down to the previous close and try to go red to green, I think you can get a little bit of a buy zone. Didn't get Rivian short. That'll be a little bit of a miss in front of that 17.2 level, but it's looking pretty good. Uber is making a power run. I'm going to try to be a little bit patient here. Intel's not in pocket. ARM is not in pocket. BOBA's not there yet either. So as some names try to come back down, you got to be patient for the dip buys. The market's breaking the highs. So if something's going down right now, you want to be patient with your entry.
I'm not looking at Uber, my guy. Okay, so here we go, man. It's just a monster move upside. If you're rocking with me, then just congratulations right now. We talked about it. All I was doing was giving out these today. I mean, I hope you guys like chickens, but there goes Apple. Hopefully it continues to go to the upside. We get another piece out up there as well. So let's just go, man. That's still, okay, so that's still Apple? Yeah, so there's climb, back up into 187 as we start to go one more time again. And Google, nice trade for that one. We still have about half of Google as that's trying to get out. And I'm not doing anything else right now except for all of this. We do want to pick out some BOBA as well. That was going to be something that we want to look at 69er right there. If it can go through. Yeah, it's not doing anything right now. Wow, it is just a monster day over on this side, guys. Congratulations if you're long. This is, again, let's go.
That's what I love to see. Congratulations for sure. You got to be patient. Stick to your levels. Sean had his levels. They're working out. I do not want to jump in too early on something here, because I just saw tops going, and my first gut was to just bid enter on Tesla. But the market is still holding above that 17, so I was just checking out Lucid for possible short, but it's not there. But Tesla is now retesting this 216, so I let it bounce a second time off this 216 level. Now if it makes a fresh low, I think it's a little bit more patience if it can hold it this last time. I think 215.75 is the actual low. Rivian, you can forget about the Rivian short. Rivian should just be a short off the open every single day. It was back to 17, but now I need to wait for it to bounce. So here's Tesla, gonna get engaged. Intel, by the way, Intel, no break there. It actually held 47. So you're getting some strength. There's a bit of a spike. Seller at 2 217 even. I just saw there. You got to be kidding me. A nice bounce on Tesla. It was right about to go $1, and then some dude just steps in there at 217. So this time I'll take some out in front of it. But a little bit more patience. I could have been long that first time through, let it make a higher low, and then grab the long in something. So we'll grab that Tesla. As I said, should have shorted Rivian. Maybe we get a second crack at it. Oh, Palantir. Please don't tell me it broke. Oh, never mind. I was going to say Palantir 1710, but Palantir fell 30 cents at the open.
Again, guys, thank you so much for all of the comments. Yeah, we are X'd up right now on the net, so that is great. Today's a much, well, yesterday we were hot off the open as well with that crazy Rivian trade. Oh my God. We told you we had a couple hundred shares in the pre-market. Then all of a sudden Apple came down to our level. You know, now we're really having fun over here. So again, I hope you guys are having fun with me as there it goes. We could basically stop right now, but we're not going to do that. We should have done that yesterday. But here it is, a nice upside move. I told you the confidence is pretty much at all-time highs now. So there we go. It's just a monster move up. And yeah, just congratulations. Thank you so much, Vin. Thank you so much, Adam. I'm off tomorrow because, you know, I got to actually, we're up at like 4:30 tomorrow morning to go about 2 hours north. I'm probably going to sleep over, but we'll probably drive tonight, maybe grab the hotel early. It's up north, like north of Collingwood. So anyways, that's what we're doing. And now I feel like, man, do we even want to miss these markets? As right now, we pumping, baby. I hope all you have this, man. Look at this. How better can we go? Apple 186. That hit perfectly. Google 142. It's literally the low of the day. So here we go. There goes Apple. Like we said, let's just try not to get out of anything else. Up to 187 days high right now for AAPL. The party, everybody, is just getting started, and it's about to even get better with Adera at the big desk.
Fastenal on the move today after reporting earnings this morning. FAST, slight earnings beat for both EPS and sales. So FAST on the watch, up about 5.5% right now, guys.
This is how you try to save yourself. Tesla, the only way to stay green when it does that. We got the first pop in at 217. It just broke. I didn't wait for 215. My stop was underneath the 216 level. That's what you'll see overlapping. I'm zooming out so that you can see 212. That was a double bottom yesterday. I don't know. Burkenstock is halted because of volatility, but it only moved $2. So I'm not really sure why that would. It gets it to 5% move too quickly, but the liquidity is a problem there. It's less than 500,000 shares on earnings. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. There's not enough volume for that to be interesting. If it's your trade, it's your trade. We talked about liking a couple of names to the short side as the market's screaming. Affirm. You can try to short the pops if you want, but there's no available pop in Affirm just yet. And the same thing goes with Alibaba. Alibaba only going to the downside. Same thing with Rivian. So both of these names, all three of these names that I like for the fade. At Rivian, you can pretty much stick a fork in that one. Gonzo Rivian. Rivian now down.
Again? Where's the average in on that? 15? Because I want to buy something.
No, I'm not. So first of all, I don't want to buy anything in Rivian again until the second quarter. Like for me, like this is a shot play.
Yeah,
I have 20% now. I want to add probably like something that'll amount to 30%, so I'm in like half of what I consider a full position in my long term, and then I'm not adding anything and then I'll get full next year if it still exists, and then I'd hold it. Then I'm holding it forever.
I like that caveat.
It's not
there.
Fundamental. I'm not buying a dip off a level. I'm just making a bet that Rivian survives, and if they survive, great. If they don't, in terms of the trade, maybe 16 even for a bounce zone. At this point, I've missed my short, so I'm kind of pissed off at that one. Fail, because at the open, 17 break was free money yesterday. At the open today, same resistance, same break, no short. There's a chance at least at NEO here, because NEO has a chance at that $6 level again as it's starting to flush back in. NEO made a nice hard bottom in front of $6. You might get a chance to see that again. The EV names are the short. Sorry we didn't have them today. They're just
we did talk about how crappy they were. I mean, I literally showed. No, I remember I did show the 52-week lows. I was like short all the energy and all the EV names. So hopefully you had that. Tesla, we wrote down Tesla 216 that we liked it. But honestly, the way this fell in right there, I'm like we just kind of like talked about EV right there and how it ain't super hot. But you know what? Maybe this has come in just a little bit too much. You know which move did fall down there, and I was like, I canceled my Intel because it went all the way down into here. Like, what was up with that? Intel fell in early and then started ripping, basically off of this 47 level. That's 4680 on the bottom. Look at the NASDAQ pulling now. You know, so if Intel can get back into 4680 and change, I feel like that's going to be a buy-ish area for me somewhere on Intel. So we'll try that. And then, again, we have less than 100 shares left now of Apple. So we want to get more. It's fallen back in. It's obviously a good trade for us. We have less than as well on Google, but Google's really holding up high right now. So on Google, we have 20% left. On Apple, we have roughly the same as well. So it's Google that's really, really working. And there's the fill on Intel. I don't know if you guys got it or not, but as all of y'all know, we'll take a dime piece.
167.
Yeah, we'll take a dime piece right now on Intel and then see if it gets even higher than that. So right now, 3 for 3. I know we always say it, but the writing's on the wall.
So AMD just broke 167. I just took the breakout trade, give it to this level here. You can see that's 166.5. Generally speaking, an even dollar break where you can risk 50 cents. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to show you ARM. I've already canceled my order. Or did I? No, I didn't cancel my order. So didn't get the dip buy in ARM. I like the 71 dip. It dipped to 71.42. That's sort of my modus operandi, right? Like, I'm going to miss that trade. But at the end of the day, if it runs me over, I don't get run over. This stock wants 75. You're talking about getting right back into here, the 75 level. It just made a higher low. Once again, that's a bad wick from the earnings, or sort of from the first day of trade, so that didn't actually exist. But the 75 level, I would expect some resistance. The first available dip is what I'm taking on ARM for the long. The last time it did this, it was double digits. And I remember not joining that trade and being mad at myself. So first available dip, which could be right here. Let's go to Adera.
Peabody Energy, BTU, making a nice move to the upside, up 7% and gaining volume after it's being announced that it's going to join the S&P Small Cap 600. Nice gap to the upside here for BTU.
If you like a trade, hit it with shares. Like, don't just pussyfoot around. You're going to get like bigger opportunities to do this. And like right now, we're already at the levels that we need to be at. So like it's 940. If your ideas are going to work, hit them. Don't just like pretend, like go for it. Like if you like that Apple trade, go for it. You know, like I just got another piece out there at 187. It's like Google. This is why I've added the sticky note to the recap show. And that is like I want to review this every day, and it's really given me this opportunity to do that. So, yeah, man, good move right there. Look at Google continuing to go. Look at Apple continuing to go. And by the way, not only did we do it, look what we just did on Intel. I told you, like, we just bought 4690s. I told you, man, we're running Affirm. We're running Intel. I love these two names, and they just continue to go. Here we go again, another breakout. I'll buy some more here on Intel. I forgot, I canceled the buy through 47.25 there, so we'll have to pay up a little bit there and pay 30s for that. But look where we bought this name. I mean, it's absolutely a banger right now. And there we go again. It's a Dollar Club winner for Google as we continue to go. This has just been, honestly, hopefully, yes, Adam Deleuze. Yes, Ryan. Thank you so much. Great call on Intel. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's up to Hugh? What's up to Adam Deleuze? What's up to S. Dot? What's up to everybody that's in the chat, man? We're not going anywhere except for tomorrow. I won't be here.
Can't be there every single day. It's a good thing that you're doing. No questions asked. We're spending it with the fam, doing the hockey thing. AMD, all-time highs. Every single top wick is going to be an all-time high here. And there was just a stellar 167.50 on that break. That took some out at 1-to-1. I'm going dip buy off the pre-market highs. So we grabbed the first available dip on ARM. We'll get to that in a second, but I've got to get to Rivian 16 first. Rivian is going to get to $16. It bounced once off 16.10. If it doesn't get to 16 even, then I'll look for the bounce off this 16.10 level a second time. That way I'm risking 2 or 3 cents off the bottom if I get like 11s, 12s, or 13s. So I like the relief rally. This is not endorsing a long in Rivian in terms of any kind of long-term or hold it forever. This is a strict bounce play. Spirit Airlines is continuing to absolutely die. I'm just going to point out it made a fresh low On the news, 560 was the bottom the first day. Looks like it's holding on to that level. If it goes SSR, I'd still look for a bounce. AMD's trying to go a buck, but as I said, every single level is a fresh high. If it breaks 168, I'm thinking 170 here because it's a round number. 165 was about the previous pre-market high, so I think 170, just every $5, let's just go, because 160 was a level. ARM, I think, is going to be a little bit more of a volatile mover, so you want to give this one a little bit more space to breathe. I said first available dip, I give it to VWAP-ish, which is about the 3/4, and then see if you can get back to the highs. I think it's got room to the 75 level. The chips are leading the way today. It's chips up, EVs down. I feel like that's been the way every day for the last ever.
Yeah, chips are going up, and that's why I was saying, guys, like hit that with tons. Like if you like the shares, if you like the trade, go for it, man. That's the trade. Good trade there by Neil on AMD. We're just honestly, man, we're 3 for 3, and we just got more out there on Intel as it's continues to go to the upside. The problem with Intel is, like I said, you know, hit it with shares, and we did that, and we also got a reload as well, and we got that huge bottom wick. Let's go. And so that's how I'm trading this thing, and we are really, really excited today, as if you can't tell. There goes Google again, like just an absolute beast to the upside and absolutely no reason to get out of Google. So I feel like we'll just stay in it. So that's Google right now, watching out for that one to go higher. Apple is having a little bit of a problem at 187. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm still pretty confident on Apple to go to the upside, but we did get some more out right there on Apple. So again, we just got a piece at 86, 87 there, but look, we're having a problem high side. So let's get another one out if we can in the 90s, if it gets back up there, and then watch out to see what we can do after that. So yeah, so far so good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Before we go to Adera, Rivian broke the 16. You'll see the wick down to 92, 93. 93 it wicked down to. I got the retrace back through. I got 1.5. So I got some fills at 1. I got some fills at 2 when I punched, it looks like. I got fill out there in front of the 10 level at 1-to-1, and it's already retracing back in. This is a one-shot deal. Okay, maybe this one trade, if it breaks low, I'm out. I might take a second shot at it, but I'm not holding it through the low of the day. There is a very big difference between catching a bottom on Rivian, which you can obviously see there, getting into a trend on ARM, which I like to dip by at 71. I'm not going to get 71. You got to move on to the next. AMD, which is also trending to the upside, and then trying to go long in what looks like the most putrid chart of the day, which is Rivian. And that's probably just true because I haven't looked at any other EV names. Tesla, I got out of the way of that long. This is more of a gimmicky style play. I'm going to get some out in the teens and 20s if Rivian gets there. But as we say, the chips are going. The NASDAQ is 1%, and it feels like it wants to. So if you're not in the trend, make sure you try to join it. Just remember, we are at some pretty big levels on the NASDAQ, and I say that's like 2 days ago, this was the high, and we're right back there. I really thought we'd be trading some DraftKings, but everything else took over, and DraftKings didn't make any kind of a press through the high of the day. It's very much in play, and it was earnings by Flutter. They're up 15% in London. They do trade on the OTC if you're interested, but that's the reason for DraftKings up. The market is green. I'll hit that one for... I was going to say for Mike McCarthy, but whatever.
Adera?
Just a note on Tesla here. Electrek reporting that Tesla has delayed a second pay adjustment for employees after they were unhappy with the first one. This comes amid some UAW related concerns and unionization for Tesla. So that second pay bump has been delayed here, guys.
We're starting to get out a little bit here on Intel because, you know, this could be the one that doesn't work out. So we definitely want to make sure that, well, we're not going to go red on it, of course, but it is coming back in. So we got a great bid. That break of 25, I thought we could get to 48 there, but for some reason we stopped almost on a dime at 47.50. So, and then looking back over here, you could see that there it is right there. We ran into the 200 period, which I didn't really even notice. But again, like, I don't know that much. Like that's, you know, wasn't really meaning anything anywhere else. I mean, there's that high up there to 56. I don't know if we actually got that. Our best fill on Intel, I can tell you guys right now, is 46. No, 39. No, 46. 46. We got a 46. We got a 42, a 45, and a 46. So I don't know why it was layered that crazily, but we were. So there it is right now, and we did get another fill on that one. We'll face slap it out on Apple. Look, guys, today on the sticky note, if you're following, great. My followers are starting to get to the upside, so I really feel that a lot of you are coming over, which I appreciate. Apple right there, long 186, 1 for 1, right? Google, long 142, right? Tesla, not in it. Intel. So we'll go 3 for 3, and let's look at Tesla right now, because I know maybe some of you are in that one. We should have looked, I said look at that 212 area again, and as you could see yesterday, 212 gave us not $1, not $2, but $2.50 yesterday off the close. We bought it right here at 212 yesterday, and then we were getting, I mean, if you held it for the very close, unfortunately, I got to get up to the other desk over there, 350 right there. So that's it. What's up, Hampton Trader? Am I in AMD today? No, I'm not, but if I'm staying away from it, no, it's just like we're already here. We're like we've already done sort of, not the damage, we always want to put more money on the table, but we want to make sure, from my notes anyways, that I'm very, very specific on what I'm doing and trying to follow some of the rules that I have. So like yesterday, we got carried away with AMD and we wound up putting an L on it. And then so today, honestly, it's a huge move up. It's just I picked my poison elsewhere, and that poison tastes mighty fine.
I don't know if poison should taste good.
Oh, this poison does.
But yeah, maybe like Vasily from The Princess Bride. You wake up an immunity to certain poisons. I love that movie. I'm in AMD. I actually prefer ARM a little bit better, to be honest with you. ARM is just a little bit more explosive. I think the dip in here, if it gets back and holds a higher low, I look to join again, because the trend is your friend until the end. At the end of the day, though, Rivian is this is not an upward trending stock, and it's running into trouble here at 16.25. So I thought VWAP is just it's just a line in a chart. The first bounce got to like 16.3. I think I'm just going to get out, take the money and run. If there's sellers in here, it gave the winning trade off that 16, which you had to be very patient for. So we'll just sort of take that and wait for the next available move as we go to the desk with Adera. Rivian and the EV names have been weak, but you've been at least able to catch some bounce plays. Obvious level at 16, though.
Going to the upside here, Alaska Airlines announcing that it has ordered 150 of the 737 MAX planes after that incident with the mid-air door situation for Alaska Air. This has been announced. Also, Indonesia saying that its Boeing 737s have been cleared to fly again after that grounding, guys.
Right.
Well, speaking of oil, come on, Mr. Buffett, because I just got filled again, Oxy. And the funny thing about this is I have not tried to trade the Buffett level once in my personal account. So you know damn well that I know I got filled this morning. That's all, because it broke $56. But you know this time it's not going to
56.
I know this time it's not.
No, I think those are good buys. The only problem is it doesn't pay a dividend, but it doesn't matter. The equity could go.
Well, I'm just looking for like this move. It's like, okay, so every single time it bounces 55, it gets to like 65, generally speaking, or at least above 60. You get 10%, you get 15%. That's what I'm looking for on that name, and then I can take some profit on half and then maybe hold the rest if I decide I like to. It's just more of a trade than anything else. I'm looking for the dip. If we get a bounce here on AMD, I'd look for the dip there, but it's ARM that, like, I prefer what I'm seeing in ARM a little bit better. ARM is at that 75. I'm taking the 75 level. I already have a trail in here at 74.5. So if ARM does break back down, I think I'd be a little bit more interested in the dip buy there. Didn't quite get down to there for me on AMD. We were close. I didn't get the fill on the bid, but I do like this trend that we're seeing in ARM. As far as shorting opportunities go, like I'm asking myself, like, where would I even short a firm? There goes ARM. ARM just filled me 74.50. So I'm out. We'll take the money and run on ARM. These chip names showed you the goods in the afternoon yesterday. And somebody knew something, or at least somebody was getting out of the way in front of TSM. I'd like to short a firm. It's down 1% into a market that's up. Like, if we fail 17,000, there's got to be a short here. Yesterday's close was at 41 even. I don't know another, like, there's no other levels. You're not getting 43s, maybe getting 42s if something crazy happens, but the 41 at least looks like it'll be in play here. So you can't get the price you want. You have to set up the next trade, which is the stairs down, oddly enough, in a strong day for the markets.
Yeah, that's a brutal miss by me on a firm. We should be shorting that name every single day, as we said. So brutal, brutal, brutal. But we are more than excited about the day that we've had so far here. All right. I was going to look at this name because yesterday we got going on Alibaba near the end of the day, right? So maybe we do have something again here with BABA. So there it goes, 68 and change. We just bounced off 68. It's not even like that's really that key of a level here, but it is starting to go. As Apple right now, let's try to hold it. Let's try to hold it. We're trying to go, Apple. We're trying to go. And hopefully we can get that Apple move here. So, all right, let's wait. Let's wait for it. But anyways, here's Alibaba, 68, 67, 80, 67, 60. You know, like I just wonder that if that's the 52-week low. So you're not too far away from it right now. So we're going to have to wait to see what we can get going here from Alibaba right now. It's 68 and change. Let's see if there's a breaking spot. VWAP is 68.50. I actually don't mind taking that out. So I feel like that could be a trade right now for Alibaba, is breaking through 68.50. That's 68.55 is VWAP, but I kind of like that trade. I think if we do that, we can hold it back in a little bit into like 35, 36. So let's go long. I'm debating getting, like I said, on Apple. We've bounced around 80. All right, let's just do it. I'm going to get, there we go, punched out at 90. So we took another piece out right there. I want to hold it, man. I really, really do. I have an offer at 187.15 that's been there all day, and we haven't got that. So maybe it's just not that thing right now. Intel, we have 5% left. Why, you may say? Good question. 47.40, it just came right back up and we got out. So we told you that we were holding a piece of it. It just went back up, so we will hold that piece for the dream. We are very, very light on everything and looking for more. So that's why right now we're just going to look at Alibaba trying to break through 68.50.
I just covered AMD.
Yeah.
It just broke the breakout price of the pre-market levels. Like, look at this. It goes up.
Get out of it.
ARM looked a lot better, and I took out of that one. I'll show you that in a second. But once that 166.50 doesn't hold, I'm just out of dodge. I'm not going to fight it. Just going to look for another level to get in. Maybe it's 65. It could also be a higher low, but it needs to calm itself down. ARM, again, the 75 level, I trailed it once it got up there. Probably could have just sat there at like 75 or 80, but got to 74.50 full. Again, this looks much stronger than AMD. So I was looking at VWAP in there. It could be the 74 level that comes to play. I think we're out too early on Rivian, but that's fine. Like, this stock was going counter trend anyways. Like, it was super weak. There was a seller at 16.25. You were able to get a nice scalp trade. Rather take the win than turn it into an absolute mess. But this move is not breaking 17,000, which is weird that the chip names would even think about coming back, because the NASDAQ's over 17,000. So I think you can dip by some of the stronger chip names. But AMD's back to 166. Good thing we got out of that one, because you give up an extra 50 cents for no reason whatsoever. And what was weak in the afternoon in the chip space, it's only up 2%, and I know it's not having a bad day, but I got the eyeballs over here on Micron.
Oh my gosh.
$85 even. If 17,000 goes, you have an even dollar break on this.
Some of the chip names, dude, you're right, to not been performing that well.
Exactly 85.
Why are you looking at chip names, guys? I mean, we mentioned Apple at 186. I'm just gonna, yo, what's up, Adam Deleuze? You know what? Screw this. It's roll call time. All right, here we go. Who's up in the building right now? Because we ain't got nothing to do except for make sure that too much of this doesn't come out of this wheelbarrow, and we already did that, unfortunately. But there goes Apple. Okay, you know what? Scratch that. We'll take some out at 187.50 for Apple right there. What's up, my guy Patrick? What's up, everybody? All right, who's here right now? Let's go. What's up to Ryan is in the building. What's up to Chris Zal? What's up to John? Wow, it's moving faster than it is in the recap show. What's up to Crazy Stitch? What's up to Ponzi Fonzie? Mr. Duckets, I love that name. Holla to that. What's up, Brian Thompson? What's up, Ozan, my guy? What's up, Todd? Mr. Lee. Hey, what's up, Mr. Lee? Good to see you in here. ND Trade, what's up? Good to see everybody, man. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe, because come here. We're doing this every day, but tomorrow, remember, we are live. I'm not here tomorrow. Shout out to Obi and Neil. They'll be spinning multiple dollar clubs, I'm sure, tomorrow for you, because right now, Apple, $1.50. Google, 80 cents. What's up to WBP? What's up to Tim? What's up to LJD? What's up? Yo. What's up to, hey, there was an Obi in here I just saw. What's up, Obi? What's up to Rock Doc? What's up to Neil MacArthur, Joe Finero? Everybody is in the building. What's up, Marlon? Everybody. So there it is, man. That is the infamous roll call. That was fun, right, guys? So there it is, man. Thank you so much for watching. It's been another crazy day here in the market, and it's really nice when things work out this way. And today they are. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, we just really want to continue to grow the community, because we also get trading ideas, obviously, from you guys. Not only do we give them to you, but we're also getting them from you as well. So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you. Can't thank you guys enough for all of that. I did just get into a firm. We'll see. This was not necessarily the original plan, but then the stock dumped at the open, so you got to change the plan according to the price action, which did mean shorting the 41 level here. So the new position for me is going to be a firm. We'll see if he can get back down into the lows. If I'm able to grab into the lows here, then I'm going to go ahead and take it. I didn't get the dip buy on ARM. That kind of sucks. So I identified that ARM was stronger than AMD, but did not get back into ARM. I love when this stock goes. It's been fantastic. I know you guys are pointing out Instacart. The story there is Uber. Well, okay, I shouldn't say Uber's buying them. There's rumors that they could be bought, and the company that people are saying could buy Instacart is Uber. That's the correct way to frame it. There is no deal in place as far as I'm concerned. Instacart has been getting smoked recently, but I think it puts a little bit of a floor on this stock. So if you're looking to join the trend, maybe the 26.5, just because it was 26 and it's at 27, 25.5 is kind of where you closed. I'd look for that kind of a dip buy in Instacart, but it is just speculation at this particular point. But arrows up for the market, hopefully arrows down for a firm as that continues to lag things. I mean, ultimately, this and the EV names have been the jam. I just missed a 60 bid. What did I bid? I bid 60. I bid 61s. We'll bid 65s next time. There we go. So a firm did bounce off VWAP. I should have got that fill, but I was bidding 61s and there was another guy at 60. So should have put that at 65. We're only short with one name. I do want to join back in on AMD. Sorry, not AMD, on ARM. That was the chip name that I love the most. 2 days in a row, it's looking pretty strong. But let's get to happening now with Adera.
Markets still to the upside here, led by a lot of these semiconductor names with lots of strength here. We will get to the TSM earnings here in a moment, but definitely a strong day for the market. We also did get lower than expected jobless claims earlier today as well. So lots of good signs going forward today. Also, Fed's Bostic to speak just after noon today as well. So that's definitely something worth watching for the overall market outlook. In terms of what's moving today, NIO, along with some of these other EV names, NIO up about 3% on reports from local media that China's top automakers have huddled in Beijing to discuss the future of new electric vehicles and just global ambitions and expanding outwards. So NIO definitely one to watch today. We also have Taiwan Semiconductor on an earnings beat and positive expectations, bringing all these other semiconductor and chip-related names to the upside here today. And last but not least, Burkenstock down about 7% after its earnings. It did beat earnings, but it had a bit of a weaker forecast with regards to margins as it tries to expand globally, guys.
Lush for Burkenstock. I think they're probably fantastic. Well, I shouldn't say everyone I know, but I have multiple family members that speak very highly for the product, but the stock today is absolutely nasty. We did just get the bid at 65 on a firm. Let's see if it gets to the low of the day. It's just like a weak stock, goes down, look for the short in it, I suppose is the way to go. Oh, I meant to talk about DraftKings. So DraftKings is continuing to fall in here. I know we had mentioned a look here at previous highs, like maybe you come back in to like a 35.5. That's still $1 away. So I think we're kind of out of pocket trying to trace any kind of DraftKings move. But it's still trend to the upside. I think it's worth a look. Tesla, glad we got out of the way of that, but it's starting to roll back over. I'm thinking short Rivian again. It didn't quite, oh goodness, it didn't even get anywhere close. I was looking for 16.5 for that round number. I guess you could have started at the 40 level. There's a short again in Rivian somewhere, or maybe in NIO. That's another name we can look at. I don't want to rush in. The open for me, when I didn't get the initial dip buy on ARM, it required a lot of patience because you had to find the first dip after it ripped like $3. We were able to get that dip, so I want to be patient with the next available trade. I think I'm looking short an EV name. Neil kind of setting up at 6.5, maybe 16.5 on Rivian. So we'll stick to a firm, wait for a VWAP on ARM, but this market is about to give up 17,000. I don't know necessarily that I want to rush into anything. If we bounce off 17,000 and you short something at the bottom, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we took advantage of that Apple move to the upside. And as we were doing the roll call, we literally got the high there for Apple. So that was, yeah, it's still,
that's my chart, guys.
Thank you, my guy. Right there, 187.50 right there for the top in Apple. So that was something there that we could do. CCL moving around. Oh, the name I want to talk about quickly was Shopify. This name got downgraded today, right? So I believe, right, Adera? I think it was. Yes, it was. Okay, good. Thanks, Neil. But this just bouncing off that 80.50 and now taking out 80. It looks like we're going to be late to the Shopify party on this short, which kind of sucks. I'm trying to also get short a firm, but I'm not at that. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not short yet. I know Neil is. So I'm going to wait for in and around 79.90. If we can pop back up, we'll start the little bit of a Shopify trade right here at 78. I mean, if we can get it, there it goes. We just got some. So, and then we'll wait for it in and around 80. And then, what is that VWAP right there? 80.30, and that's probably too high, 80.70. I almost don't even really want this thing too much past $80. So, I mean, right there, immediately, it goes down about 20 cents as soon as we hit the short. So that's pretty good. But we'll wait for it now. So it's just a kind of a starter position. We do want to get some more shares here. But as this is starting to curl down, I am looking kind of like at this 80.05 or $80.10 area, something like that for Shopify. So let's average into it. We could be wrong. We know this is a super hot name. I said that we wanted to stay long today, but as Neil just mentioned, the futures are falling into 17. And we have a lot of support here from today only. So let's wait to see what happens. That bottom was 16,980. I still feel like that's support. You're going to need to break lower here. Just because you're at 17, don't bail. You got to let it see what's happening. Oh my God, we're doing it again right now on Shopify. So there, look at Shopify, 51s. So there it goes right there, 25 cents. We can get it almost immediately right here on Shopify. We just got to get the fill. And there it is right there. We'll go 4 for 4 right there today. So that's a good one. Bye-bye Shopify. Let's see how low can we go.
I'd say to the ground. Well, not for, okay, the ground just means the lows. Why the hell did I just get in and out of, okay, Micron broke 85. I know what just happened. I had a stop order at the wrong price. We'll just jump right back into the same price. Micron broke that 85 level. 17,000 broke. I wanted to make sure we're underneath. I just got in and out flat and then back in at 97. So I paid some fees there on Micron. But this is a name which it failed the breakout of the highs right at the open. So made a high, made lower highs, and then started to break down off that pre-market support level, like right before the open and right after the open. So this was weak in the close yesterday. We talked about this being it should have been the short. I shorted Intel in the afternoon. This should have been the short. It was the one that fell the most. So I'm going to pick on Micron for that reason in the 85 break alone. I'll give it to about 15s. A firm is, the reason I say things can head to the ground, if we were to fail 17, I think that's a big level. And if a stock is weak, like it can really go. Don't have to point out that 40 was a bit of a thing on a firm. So if it gets to 40 even, I'm expecting there to be buyers there. There were definitely buyers there yesterday in the afternoon. Everything looks like this at 2 to 215. So like wherever things started, that late day tech and growthy rally or whatever you want to call it, that's where I'm looking to catch some bids on anything I'm short. So Micron short, a firm short. ARM is now setting up for a potential dip buy here. It's at VWAP. This is where we got in before, 73.25. Let's see it make a little bit of a bid first. I'd like to see some buyers come in. I'd rather join the buyers. Like here, I was just willing to dip because it was early. Take the first available dip and let it go. This is a case where you want to be more patient. Now you've reversed. I want to see buying first before I join in. But I do like ARM still. If the market takes out the top, I think ARM can go double digits. It did it the last time it had this kind of a move.
Okay, we have a, yeah, I love ARM there. We have hopefully a good trade developing here if we can get it through Amazon. So we just bought some Amazon down here against 152. Well, it's against this bottom wick there. It's up today. The market just dropped down. I don't want to forget about names that, you know, have a chance to do something right here. We're gonna get our full position at 152. If we've learned anything over the last couple of days, it's exactly that: is to be as patient as you can with some of these plays, right? We talked about why AMD short was so good where it was. And that's because of that play. We waited for it to get up to 160 is, I think, is a thing in the past. But, you know, we waited to be patient for that. We obviously were too busy looking at Intel, which we got out of, and we will have another look to notice that. But this is a great barcode area for AMD at the top. This is the move that you're kind of waiting for. You're waiting for it to go. If you missed the long, I know Neil had the long, but then when you see it starting to do this, that's that barcode area that we're all concerned, or that I'm concerned about. All right, so we start a little bit of an affirm trade right now as it comes back up to 68. That's all good. Very, very small position to start with. We're looking to get some more Shopify as it comes up to the 200 right now. And we are waiting there at 90. So we'll wait for all of these trades to come through right now. A couple new positions, Affirm, Shopify, Amazon. But we're really riding the coattails of all of them other ones that we had earlier on. So, so far, so good. Let's see if Amazon wants to work, Affirm wants to work, and Shopify already has worked, but we're looking to get a little bit more over there as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, and we're back in my favorite stock, Affirm.
Affirm, I missed a reload by about 10 cents on Affirm there, but if it gets to VWAP, it gets to VWAP. That's actually almost a good thing if it doesn't get to VWAP. I'm back into ARM on the dip buy. I saw buyers just step in there at the quarter mark, so if it can hold on to that, great, but the market's still underneath 17,000. That's a bit of a problem. The market's underneath 17,000, but this is a strong stock, so I want to give it a chance. Micron held on for dear life at the 85 level, so shorted an 85 break. I was in and out flat once, and then gave it back into 20, so we'll risk the 20 cents. I'll slap to fail on Micron, but I still think this is, I know it's up 2.5%, but it could not hold the breakout, so I want to give it the respect for the short until it proves otherwise. The other name, which I still like short, is making a bounce upside. This is Rivian. If Rivian gets back to this high, cannot break it, I think I'd look for the curl. I'm going to look at Palantir, but I guarantee it's probably nowhere close. Yeah, never mind. Man, Palantir. Okay, reassess on Palantir, because the next available trade on Palantir is yesterday's low. It's not a short the pop. Yesterday's bottom was 1605. This is eerily similar to the dip buy on Rivian in that it's screaming into the lows. So you're looking for that little wick bottom here on Palantir. But down 1%. There was no catalyst that I saw with the stock. It looked like
down.
It looked like a breakout. Like I was like, oh, if it breaks 1710, I know I like it. It was gapped up, so I was looking for a break. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So 16 even. Just wait for this to get to 16 even. I think that's going to give you a little bit of a trade there. Palantir at even dollar levels is generally pretty good. The ticker is ARM. That's spelled ARM, Neil.
Not trading AM?
I have no idea what AM is, but if it is a stock, it's probably up today if it's in the chip sector. So ARM bouncing off VWAP, because everything is. Like the chips are strong. We haven't looked at TSM, but there's something for everybody. I don't think you need to trade TSM today because you've got all of the other names moving. So there's something for everyone. So the bounce on ARM just went 73.5 into 74. Ring the register there and see if you can get back to that 75. And the reason I say this is, put up your hands if you've traded TSM in the last year. I know we haven't. That's why it's an easy one for us. So why do it today when you have other names to go to? And oddly enough, TSM's weak. It's actually at the lows.
Yeah. This is why I don't trade earnings, guys. Put up your hand if you're trading Amazon. Hey-yo, right now Amazon 20 cents, 25 cents in the money. And did we just get a piece out there? I'm trying to get a piece out. And yes, there it is. Money. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6. Wow, so far so good. We could have our first L on board right now. As we get a little nervous about Shopify. We knew we wanted to be long today, so there you go. I've stepped out. Yo, what's up, Chill Vibes? You're long Google at 142. Let me just check the sticky note here. Google long 142. Congratulations, man. You and I like minds on that. So good job there, Chill Vibes for sure. All right, so here's Shopify. Let's just talk about it as we go. We're short here at 187. I said a possible loser, and It just went down. So here we go. We took a piece out there at 80s on Shopify as we do get a little bit nervous here on this name, but we are short. We're just short right now at 90, man. We took it out at, all right, Fabian, I got to get it. All right, let's do this right now. Look, if you think I'm having fun, just imagine how much fun you're going to have when you log in and start to trade like us. Or not like us. Probably not like us. Try to trade better. But right now, here we go. It's campus time, baby. If you are in the lovely country, you can apply for this campus opportunity. Look, last time I told you this thing was filling up. I'm not even sure how many spots are left. I will find out. But hit this apply now immediately to get involved with what we're trying to do here. It's the campus program, and basically it's phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stops at 4, and you're going to go eventually live. This is a zero cost to you. Absolutely nothing. Join the campus program, learn how to trade, learn our software, get some back and forth talk with like-minded individuals. You can just go see on here what's going on. Live trading is the end of the day goal. It's going to cost you absolutely nothing. You don't need a deposit. You don't need a risk a deposit, anything like that. This is just come in, let's trade, and let's see if we can make a little bit of money. So that's what it is. It's the campus program, and it's a lot of fun. So I think that you guys should do it. It's been super popular, and it's really, really taking off. So we have to thank everybody for all of that. And let's just keep going with the campus program. And
Feb 5th.
Yeah, Feb 5th. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we highlighted that. I'm going to find out how many spaces are left.
My guess is not many.
Right.
Because
right.
the last time, every time we talk about this during the week, it's usually by the time we get to Friday, we're not doing the read anymore because they filled the class. Yeah, so if you're interested in it, you probably want to get on that pronto. Look, there's a lot of things breaking out in the space. I'll acknowledge here, NVIDIA underneath VWAP is not really participating. Showed AMD showing some weakness. There's a reason I liked ARM a little bit better, and I could have picked out Marvell, which was just pointed out to me, missing yesterday, but Marvell was pointed out to me, and this is also breaking highs. Super strong relative name. Again, pick your poison. If ARM fails 75 again, we'll just rinse and repeat basically the exact same trade. But it's a firm which just came back into VWAP here. So firm back into VWAP. When it's trending down, VWAP gets lower, so not filled at the same price as before. But this is stronger than it was last time. If we break out 71 change, I'm just going to get out of Dodge on a firm. Like even if the market takes out the highs, this is exactly the kind of stock which can get back to pre-market levels. So I don't want to fight it too hard, but it is one I like to the short side. We still don't have Rivian. I still don't have Rivian. I was looking for something closer to $16.50 here. Looks like we're not going to get it just yet. AC in the chat. No, you cannot just get a Canadian VPN. As far as my knowledge, it's like if you're in the U.S., you just can't. You got to be a Canadian resident. That's you got to be here. I know that's not the answer. I know it's popular, but if that was a workaround, trust me, we would tell you. We tell you off the bat. We know the interest is there.
You literally need to be a Canadian citizen too, right? So yeah, so that's...
Is it citizen or resident?
Yeah, I think it's citizen. Anyways, you guys will all figure it out.
Yeah.
Just ask the question.
Go to the website and just apply.
Try to act like we don't know anything and just ask all the questions. All right, so here comes, yes sir. Holy shoot. Wow, okay. Shopify. That was literally a penny away from stopping me out. And then all of a sudden, this comes. So wow on that one, by the way. I still think we're going to get stopped out, but we just got multiple outs down there, sub $80. So here it comes back again. I'm just going to... This could turn out to be just a huge tank, but honestly, I'm just kind of surviving right now. And this is what I talk about sometimes when I trade against my P&L. Like we've had such a good morning that I don't really want to give any back, and I know that that's not necessarily the right way to trade. So, but that's what I'm doing. So we'll have to wait to see here. I do have another bid at 94 on Shopify. Hopefully it will swing that or hit that, and then we will be able to swing lower into the 80s where we'll pick up some more bids, hopefully on that one. And I mean, there's a little stock today that a lot of us should have known about, and I hope that, I heard Dan Ives, I'm going to steal it from him. He was talking about a double desk pounder for Pan W, which you guys already know. We're already into that one. We were pounding the desk today for Apple. Not only was I in hundreds of shares in the pre-market, which is not like me, obviously, but we also got a reload right at 925 when that came into our level again. We ping the level of 186. It didn't do anything. It went down. We got one piece out when it broke one time, but then it just keeps on going, and now we're back up to the highs. So there it is, man. A nice move coming through for us on Apple. And then, okay, we are reloaded with Affirm. Now, whether or not this works out or not, I don't know, but we're going to have to watch out for $41 there on Affirm because, hey, man, this kid will be out of that trade if we break through 41 because, like I said, man, we're not going to throw bad money after good, and that's what we would be doing here by trading Affirm. Normally I wait for key levels, 41, man, as Neil's on it as well. This is a very key level.
Well,
even dollar with
failed
VWAP.
underneath 41 the second time. That's the reason I'm in early.
Yeah.
I'm mad at Coinbase right now. I just threw in the chat, there was a refresher at 136 on Coinbase. If you got the fill, great when it broke. It's already at 137. Everything. This is up 2% and screaming higher right now. I want to join this because this has been under pressure. So higher lows, yada, yada, yada. It's got room to 140. It's 140 and 144 on Coinbase. So joining it somewhere in the first dollar or two is going to be worthwhile. So joining a trend, I need to see upside potential. So 136, I'm leaving my order in here, see if I can't get picked up on that breakout. I did not cross enough. That's on me. I could have crossed maybe 20s, 30s, I think would have been a bit better. I crossed to 12s. Yeah, now there's a buyer in front of 137 even, so I'm going to let that guy get filled, look to buy the first available dip on Coinbase. Affirm, I think we got a little greedy the first time. I was looking for right in front of 40 even. It got to 40.20. Now we're short again off of VWAP. We'll take some 50s and 60s, I think, because this market is holding the top very nicely. Like, you look at what's happening in the NASDAQ, like, you're just holding 17,000, higher lows. If you break out Wednesday's high, I think we're seeing the high of the day. And in that particular case, I think you want to have paid something out on some of these short trades while they're working for you. If they're working for you, you want to make sure you pay something out. Again, that's just my 2 cents. We like Affirm to the short side. I never got into Rivian. ARM, we're just going to let this make its shot. The first time through, I would have been out of it. Now things are calmed down more. I want to give this back through 74 even, and then we'll try a VWAP test again. If it breaks 75, I want something on board. It's been an absolute rocket ship to the upside. I need to get in. Tesla's about to get to the low again. So before that happens, I'm going to take a shot at Rivian. Maybe get into a small amount here because I'm trying to give it to 50s. And because I'm not getting a 40 fill, you got to get in smaller so you can have an average price. If I have to average into it, then I want to make sure when I'm all in, my average price is closer to 40 on Rivian. But as Tesla's getting to the low, this is a stock I want to do the short side. You guys let me know when we have the small cap recap because I think you see what we've been trading today. I stuck to ARM, a little bit of AMD. I've had Affirm, I've had a Rivian. Micron, like it's just a little bit of Tesla very, very quickly in there. I haven't touched the small cap. I know Spirit Airlines is moving. I know there was that weed stock this morning as well. So the second we're ready with Adera, we'll get to her. But I wanted to jump into Rivian because I saw this happening in Tesla. Tesla working down into the low of the day. They're kind of like my EV futures. If I see a short opportunity in Rivian right through VWAP when Tesla's breaking down, I'm going to take it 10 times out of 10. Now the thing about that is I already had Rivian up and I had a Tesla chart up. So that's the reason I'm able to sort of see that as you're already breaking lower. So nice little short there. It is working out. Are we ready? Let's get on to the small cap recap with Adera.
Apologies there. Peabody Energy, first small cap on the list today. BTU is the ticker for this one, trading higher after being added to the S&P small cap 600. So keep an eye on BTU here. Next up, we have Agfy. This one been talked a lot about today. AGFY entering into its first hydrocarbon extraction lab and vertical farming unit facility in California. This one very much to the upside today, trying to get another nice pop up here. And last but not least, Bridge Biopharma, BBIO. This one very much still moving here after getting some strategic financing from Blue Level Capital and Canada Pension Plan to bring in some extra capital of about $1.25 billion, guys.
Thank you very much, there, Adera. You'll see the last of my longs just came out. It's going to be a winning trade, but I'm not going to. I had a chance to get this out at 74.5. I told you If we didn't hold on to that 74 level, there was a buyer that just got taken out there. What it's doing since the open, let me just give you this. Since that first original pullback, like it's making these higher lows. So the fact that it double tops, I'm generally looking to try to get back into the trend here, somewhere around that 73.5. I don't want to give up the extra juice if this does continue to fall. Rivian already making a bit of a bounce play in there, so I just took some out of 16.15. You got to ring the register when you've got a good trade, especially if it's going against the grain. And I said Spirit Airlines is moving. Each even dollar level I think is worth a bit of a shot for an SSR type bounce, but it's gone a collision course with $5. It hasn't really halted today. It's down 14%. It's on my radar. I'm going to get a level 2 up now that it's at the $5 or close to the $5 mark, looking for some kind of a bounce. The other bounce that I did like, we're not going to get. That was Palantir at 16. Palantir got to 16.15. Might have to slap an L on, it's any second now. I mean, there's a firm. We got the reload. A firm seems to want to take out that high. So we're a couple of pennies away from getting stopped out on a firm. First time through got a little bit greedy. The second time through might have to pay some for that greed, unfortunately, here with the firm. It sucks, but at the end of the day, like I think this is the right stock to be short because it's relatively weak. Oh, DraftKings might take out the high. That's the other thing I'm going to point out. 37.80, DraftKings trying to go. A firm didn't just stop out. It came a couple cents away, but I feel like it wants to get there pretty quick.
All right. Well, slap a fail on our trade there, obviously, on Shopify, but look what just happened. Again, we had noted VWAP there, and we were like, nah, should have waited for it. We're just going to get back. Happy because we're getting back in. So bang on that one. We're back into Shopify right now. But yeah, hopefully that continues its movement to the downside there for us, and we'll be able to get that fill. I'm going to try again up here in and around 80 and change. We're going to try one more time here on Shopify because why not? I like the stock. I like the name to the short side. Got downgraded today. We'll wait for a little bit more up here near 86.10, 86.06, whatever that. What was that high? 03. Okay, we'll wait for that. We have enough patience to do that, so we will do it. All right, so that's working now. I just heard, I went and got a refill of the coffee. I just heard Neil talking about a firm, unfortunately.
It just held.
It just held, which is great. And now it's pulling back down in, so this is going to be another one. Here we go. We can actually go green, obviously, on Shopify. If this continues to make a move down, we're going to be green on a firm today, as this one's back in the 70s. Let's just take a bid. I haven't really been sitting here and watching it, so we'll get some more out here. We just took a bid at 70 something there, the same bid as we had last time, and now we'll see if it can make its way back in as up. Because this move in Shopify, because this move in a firm, we're actually near our high of the day despite, oh, you know what I just noticed here? Google just came back in as well, the 142. That should have been an easy reload, and I wasn't even looking at it. So, all right, I'm getting a little bit like, should be a little bit more focused is what I'm going to say, is that we're kind of like resting on the trades that we've already had because I don't really want to give it back. We gave some back yesterday, obviously. So we'll just continue to go because I am missing out on opportunities. Shopify, again, nice move down. We're short now at 92. We were short at 05 or whatever, but we got taken out. So Shopify still an L for now. We'll see if we can rectify that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every time a firm goes down off that 41, it just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to make that next leg in. But the craziest thing, I'm going to get to Coinbase in a second. The craziest thing in these futures is we just keep holding 17,000, but you're not really breaking higher. This is kind of it's thank goodness there's been like these individual outsized movers, because really, if you were just trading the market, I have no idea what you'd be doing. Maybe shout out, like, I don't know what Dan Emmons or any futures traders are doing with this market. Maybe you're just holding in front of this local bottom, and if 17,000 holds, you're good. But yeah, it's wild because I still think you got to try some dip buys as long as 17,000 holds. If you're watching Bitcoin, it's near its tops at 14.8, so that little dip here in coin. Looking at this wick here to 135, looking for a dip in front of 135. Not a lot of buying here, and someone selling a chunk at 135.70. So there's a big order right here at 135.70. Maybe it pushes it down to 135 even, and I can grab along. So looking for a bit of a dip buy here in Coinbase, but it's a firm that I think, this is the one that's kind of in trouble. Short at that VWAP. It rejected the 41 even, so I might try to add in front of it and give a really tight, continue to have a really tight stop, but it might be breaking it up pretty soon. I think Coinbase next. We talked about ARM. You know I want to go dip buy in there if it gets back down in on that trend at 73.5, but I'll give it a chance to get back down into that price. Be patient. It's 10:30. Already had some fun this morning. I find that this is a bit anecdotal, but over the years in trading, typically speaking, the better the opening rush is, sometimes the more bamboozlement between 10:30 and lunchtime. Like that first hour, if it's really, really good, then a lot of times that next hour, for a lot of traders, I've found that to be true. When momentum and breakouts are really great, you can find that next 60 minutes a little bit tricky. So be patient with your entry points. I can't really say that enough. The futures are not doing anything. I'll get to this NCVR. Shout out to you in the chat there. And Dan saying he is patient. Dan Emmons trades futures. He's saying he's being patient. I don't know what else you could do. NVCR. VCRs. I still have a VCR somewhere. I don't know what I'd have to dig it up to find it. But VCR is near its highs of the day. This is a stock where when you get a move like this, it's only done 1 million shares. I always want something breaking out, downward trend. See this, like 16 bucks? It's 10% away from the big level on the daily chart. That's gonna take a pretty impressive, like an Atlas-like effort to get to that price, and then it needs to still break that. So it's room to the top, but a long ways to go on NVCR. I kind of prefer the things that are breaking the big level that you have a chance to get more imminently, but it's gonna take 10% for that to get there. I'm not sure it has the juice to get to that price.
Shout out to my lovely wife, Marissa. Thank you for watching. And obviously, thank you for everything that you're doing for me every single day. I couldn't do this without you. That is for sure. And right now, man, I know we're a family of Apple products, but right now, Marissa, it's this. Maybe you can get that new iPhone 16 after all. I want to wait for the AI. I want to wait for the AI version to come through. So we'll wait for that. But there it is. I am going to take a piece out again one more time as we continue to rip to the high side right now on Apple. We're long at 186. So I want to get out something out here at 50. You see, it seems to be stopping up here a couple times. The high is 60. There it is again. I'm literally at 48. As she will know, my kid says literally all the time, as we are literally busting up to some of these levels. So I am literally going to just put it right now at 43 and take an out if I could get it. There it is right there. We get an out now at 43. So I don't know what we're having tonight, but that one was just a chicken dinner winner for everybody right there. So hopefully that tonight might be steak, it might be lobster, it might be Subway. I have no idea.
When the market's not breaking highs, the stock that's breaking the highs is not chicken.
I will be, well, eat what you like is what I would say.
Okay, that's fair.
If you want to do that, yeah. I love to eat some chicken wings on a good old any night, really. But here she made this sick. I don't know what it's called. It was a chicken.
I love chicken
gumbo type of soup yesterday. It was amazing. That's what we had for dinner. So shout out to that. All right, so Apple just continues to go. And by the way, Affirm. It's not dropping, but I still think it can drop. So I want to watch out for that one, as we're basically at the highest spot we've been at all day right now. So Yahoo for that one, and whatever happened to that stock, Yahoo? We'll have to wait bought out. Google was the missed trade on that reload. Oh, by the way, remember that new idea that we had? Where's Obi at? We're long Amazon right now. 152.24. That's a ho-hum 70-cent winner. But you know where we are right now? Yeah, I know, Sharif. Ho-hum. Yeah, it's a ho-hum winner. But the thing about it is we're going to get out right now at the 200-period moving average. It's made its move to the upside. However, as Neil was mentioning, the futures were not doing anything
now they are.
too long ago. But right now they're trying to do something. But at the same way, we need to be able to get out once levels are hit, right? So I'll put an offer at 79.
Oh my God.
We out of there. As if Amazon was crypto, it's going to the upside. Are we going to the upside with Bitcoin? Are we going to the upside with Cardano, the only one that anyone cares about? Are we going anywhere with Ethereum? I have somewhere to send you right now. It's Crypto Talk.
It's an interesting update given that it's been 1 week since the spot Bitcoin ETF started trading. So this is from yesterday from the block saying that as of yesterday, the spot Bitcoin ETF cumulative volume from all of those ETFs had just crossed over $11 billion. 90% of that volume is from Grayscale, Fidelity, and the BlackRock ETF. So very contained there. But yeah, that is just an update here, a look back with our first week of these spot Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin itself not doing too much. We're more or less flat on the day, still below that 43,000 level after falling pretty well below that on Friday, January 12th. So still very much within that range of that 42,000, 43,000 we're seeing right here, guys. Bitcoin, like I said, pretty flat in the day, just up about 0.05%. Around that 42,006 area. Ethereum down about 1%, still above that 2,500 level. The rest of these performance here pretty mixed. Solana down about 2%, and Cardano is down about 2.5%, Sean.
Never want to hear those words again. Down with crypto, but down with Shopify right now.
Affirm just came to, yeah.
I mean, we've been telling you, man.
Another one.
We love to short Affirm.
Another one.
And
Another one.
over and over and over again. There goes Affirm, man. Buy now, pay never. I hope that you guys, if you got out sub 40, we talked about that the other day, to get going right now as Tesla giving some stressless back down there. Shout out to Adera. We like 212. So are you short Tesla? Oh, no, it's just taking. Okay, good. You're short Rivian, though, which is nice. There goes Tesla back down to the downside, man. This is going to be another exciting day. Thank you so much for joining and for watching. As I hope you're having fun. That is for sure right now. Watch out for Hut 8 apparently as well.
Oh, what a missed opportunity on, it looks like Nikola was just free money shorting the pop. Unfortunately, I'm just looking at when Tesla goes to the low of the day. I'm like, is anything setting up that you can go short in Nikola? Look at the pre-market high break. It goes right to 67 cents with a 666 pre-market high. That's just an easy short, but that is what it is. So Affirm, take some profit because it cannot seem to break this 40-60. It's putting in a higher low potentially here, so got to watch out for that. Rivian, I want the low of the day. If Tesla's going low of the day, DWAC. Nick W now saying DWAC breakout set up like DraftKings. Okay, first things first, you actually reminded me about DraftKings. DraftKings is trying to go now. Ugh, how's about nowish on DraftKings? I hate this time of day for a break at the top when the futures aren't moving. Just gonna be real with you. We're talking about bamboozlement this time of day. I don't feel like these have been working out, taking the breaks. The rejection of a break and then getting a dip buy when everyone gets rinsed has generally been a little bit better of a way to go. So I'll look for that in DraftKings, and that gives us a chance to look at DWAC, which I have not looked at this all day long. I typically think fade when you get a few more days away from the news on DWAC, which of course was the Iowa caucus win.
Right.
But it hasn't even had a red day just yet. This could be, it's way too far away from resistance at 28. If this gets to 28, I'd probably go over to Funware and look for a short opportunity in Funware, just because this is nowhere near the high. So Funware is a bit weaker today. There's great liquidity. It's on 300 million shares. If I see a short on DWAC, I'll probably go over to Funware.
Marissa just goes, and speaking of food, what do we want to eat tonight? What do we want to eat Saturday? I told you, these are the texts. Remember I had that thing where I saw it somewhere on a tweet that was, what was the most sent text every single day? And it's literally, what do you want to eat? It's something like that. It's like, or what are we doing for dinner? No, seriously, Sharif, it's like, yeah. It's because like that's what people ask, right? It's like, I don't know. You probably have that conversation with your wife. We have it pretty much daily. But
to be honest, like I used to, but I don't anymore, man.
No,
because it's just like whatever we're having. Everything is way too rapid in our home once we get home. It's like whatever.
Same thing. I'm blessed enough to have Marissa at home, so she cooks up a storm like every single day. So
I'm getting hungry right now.
Yeah. There she goes. Sorry, maybe hold off on the lobster. She said. Oh, because we have.
What's wrong with lobster?
Oh, I just found out I have to pay another $11.50 for more hockey school here, so that's great. All right, and that's why she said hold off on the lobster. So tonight, your boy will be eating. It's chicken dinner winter time, baby. Yeah, we will.
There's nothing wrong with chicken. I was just saying because we eat for lunch all the time.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't mean that. I mean because I can now not afford lobster. So thank you for that, Marissa. That's very well appreciated right there.
It's just lobster.
Okay, yeah, it's just lobster. It'll be fine. All right, I want lobster bisque if we're going to do it properly. So let's just do that properly, first of all.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you order that correctly. It's like, you know.
I think if you go to the right places.
Lobster bisque?
She's in the
Come on,
chat?
that's a Seinfeld reference. How are you not getting
Leftovers! Oh, no. Shout out to my lovely wife right there. But you know what?
You guys really eating leftovers?
Yeah, man, because you know what? The leftovers are sick. What, Marissa, what is that? It's a chicken chowder, right? Put it in here. It was so good, man. I think it cuts up a couple chicken breasts. It had sweet potato in it. It was just loaded with veggies, and it was fantastic. As we're trying to eat a little bit more like, it's paleo, but not really. Just get away from the sugars, get away from the refined stuff, the wheat and everything like that.
You have no idea how great that. Like
we've done it before.
Your body loves that.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. But then again, of course, this weekend we just got yesterday. There's a pizza party for the girls that's happening at one point. So we'll have to.
Pizza's not that bad, man.
No. But once you have one, it's like Lay's chips.
It's what you put on it. And if you make your own pizza, all the better.
Like if you put on pineapple, it's probably pretty healthy. You can put on some other things as well. Leftovers are great. Leftovers, shout out to everybody out there. Canadians love their chicken.
You're Italian.
I thought
that's actually not a thing.
I thought down south and all that, like Canada's.
You guys like no.
Like fried chicken.
No. Y'all love
Y'all love that too.
We way more than we do.
The thing about Toronto is we are very, very spoiled with having crazy multiculturalism here and all of the food. Like I'm sure there's some crazy Egyptian places. I apologize, I don't know any, but yeah. So just for Sharif, and it's almost like home cooking to some extent, right? So we are very spoiled here. This is not like we're not out in the boonies where, and I say that because my wife is from a small town up north, and it's like they recently got a lot of immigration due to COVID and things like that, and now they have like their Thai food restaurant is actually run and owned by Thai people. That's how we get that advantage here to get the authenticity. So
which is what you want.
So
the market's taking out the highs. I said I would not take the breakout in DraftKings. I would go for the dip buy. So doing the dip buy, whether it works or not, it will have saved money not taking the breakout, because I end up with 60s in here, so I'll try to give it like 25 pennies. It's a firm, man. A firm just comes right back to the top. I don't know what to tell you. Like a firm's right back up to that 41. It looks like it wants to break this one out. With the market going into these highs, I feel like this will be the last time we're in a firm off this level in a heartbeat. So this is looking a little bit strong. We'll slap the fail on it if it breaks out the high. It hasn't happened yet, but it's pretty darn close. Eric is asking, what do we think about Tesla, long or short? Well, I mean, I don't know that I'd short the bottom. I was in for the long. We got a scalp trade, then broke the low. Probably should have shorted the same level we liked long. That would have been good. But now it's not at 12s. I don't like to short this close to the lows. The market's breaking the highs, so I think I'd prefer to be looking for longs as we're breaking out. Let's get an idea of what's going on in some other sectors that aren't EV and tech with Adera and Sector Watch.
Pretty mixed, actually, but a lot of sectors really strong. Most notably, the elephant in the room here, electronic technology, very much to the upside after those TSM earnings. Apple also to the upside after getting its first upgrade of the year from BofA Global Securities, so definitely one to keep an eye on as well. Electronic technology or technology services, still very strong as well. Adobe notably to the downside here after a downgrade from Exane BNP Paribas. Health technology and finance both pretty mixed. Flat or to the downside here. Retail trade, Amazon very strong, along with Home Depot, but CVS and the whole health services sector down after Humana actually lowering its EPS guidance. So all of these health services related names to the downside on that news. Utilities, energy, minerals, and consumer non-durables also struggling today, guys.
Yeah, it's not all roses, but the market is taking out these highs. So, into some longs. I've only been short. I still have Rivian short, so I should probably acknowledge, just getting some orders on DraftKings, acknowledge the fact that it doesn't seem to want this low of the day. So your trend down, but is Tesla just made a, whoa. Okay, is that a real wick on Tesla? I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that that was a legitimate, was that a real wick on Tesla? It was not? Okay. Anyway, I just saw this on Tesla, so I'm not going to panic out of Rivian. But that's what I just saw on Tesla. It did not get down to 12s. You couldn't have had a 12 long just now. Like that you got to throw up if that's the case. So Rivian, I don't want to reload it if Tesla's bouncing, so we'll be really patient with Rivian for now. Just going to hang on to what we have, see if we can't get a bit of a breakout on ARM and DraftKings, which we're into the longs on, and then just hang on for dear life when it comes to Affirm and Rivian, taking some profit. I was long originally Rivian, but it's a short off VWAP for now.
All right, I'm going to give it a couple minutes, and then we'll do what's for lunch, because there's been a lot of food talk here. So let's go over something else real quick. All right, so we wanted to look at Alibaba again. This is my bad. We actually talked about this break right there. We didn't take it. Remember, we said 68.50. We really liked that break. The break itself was good, but then it only went to like the top wick is 65. So you probably get some out. We always take something out for a dime, and then you had the reload opportunity. I don't think we would have got stopped out there, but we would have got stopped out here. So to me, and we always get questions. Neil and I both get questions like this, where it'll say like, how do you build your lists? What levels do you look at and things like that. So I'm just talking about this trade. I'm not in it, but we could break it down anyways. That would have been the long. We talked about the long. All right, so if you take that long, I feel like your next out is this barcode area right there. So that would be 68.35, or let's just say a 30 break. So that's 20 cents worth of risk. So I always say you take out probably 20% or something for that 10 cents. And then when you see it fall back in, maybe you take out another piece. But then you probably buy it back, and now you're back at highs again. So you would have not gotten stopped out of this. It would have been about a 20 cent worth of risk, and right now you're in the money, which is why it's convenient, 20 cents. So look at that from a risk to reward standpoint, and if you like it, then you like it, and if you don't, then you don't. But there, look at Amazon. Wow, we missed opportunity. This is getting into a barcode area. So again, I'm not looking short, which is kind of funny. I just shorted Affirm and Shopify, and both are spinning right now, which is great. But the thing is you want to short weak names. We had Shopify today down. It was down. I don't know what. Yeah, so still down, obviously, on the downgrade. And then Affirm, I'm short this name, trying to be short every day. Literally every day. I don't care what. The market's up 1.2%. Neil mentioned short Affirm. I just hopped right over to it, didn't remember about it. So you got to watch out for those stocks. And Affirm is just one of those ones that I'm nervous about forever. So
I actually think just one note on things like Affirm and Rivian and Lucid or all those. There's something to be said about finding a way until this stops happening to just be in the short off the pre-market highs, because if you've been doing that, it's actually been a better trade than finding the later short. It does require, you're probably not going to be in big size in that situation, but these are all doing the same thing. Let's go to the desk with Adera, but those shorts, man, ugh.
Watch out for Hut 8 here. Moving to the downside, J Capital Research issuing a report called the Coming Hut Pump and Dump, basically expressing some concerns with the company that Hut 8 merged with. Hut 8 moving to the downside on this news, HUT, guys.
All right.
Well, you were just talking about Hut 8 before and the crypto thing, and there we are.
Yeah, well, that's because that's another.
Well, that was yesterday.
Whoopsies. We're trying to tag TraderTV.live here, so I just did it. Okay. I kept getting Trader TV Neil, Trader TV Brendan, Trader Danielle, Tammy Trader. Come on, AI. Let's go, X. You got you know who I'm supposed to be looking for. Okay, so that was Hut,
That's a good
right?
point.
So what?
Well, it is weird when I do the drop down for tagging on X. It is the same ridiculous nonsense. It's it should be in order. It should be you and
that's
Brendan
what I'm
and
saying.
Who else? And that's
does it think
not
we're
what
looking
happens,
for?
Elon. Anyway.
Wow, Elon.
No, I'm just saying it
No,
doesn't
you're
make,
right.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's get Grok working on some things around here.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay, by the way, we said that we had a very, very good chance of turning Shopify back into Greensville. Here we go. I don't mean to say that for you. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I wasn't. Are you still Dallas fan, by the way? Because that was tough. I've been Dallas fan since 1995. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. Nice. Do they? Yeah. Do you know that Green Bay? Hold on a second. Do you know that Green Bay has won just as many playoff games in Cowboy Stadium than Dallas has?
This is a bad stat.
Yeah, 3. We've won 3. You guys have won 3. I think they should change it to Lambeau Part 2, Lambeau South.
I actually feel bad. Usually I'd be all over harping on Dallas.
I
genuinely feel
Lambeau of the South, AT&T Stadium.
If the Jets or Dolphins or Patriots could ever say anything like that about the Buffalo Bills, I'd be in a world of pain. So you're taking
It's going to be a good weekend, I think. I think your game's going to be great. I mean, this is exactly what Buffalo wanted. They went into KC last year and lost. They now have the home field, and
Patrick Mahomes has never played a playoff game.
Right, in this weather?
I don't think he's even been on the road in the playoffs outside of the Super Bowl. They always have home field, and now we've got home field.
Exactly. I can't believe I just said the weather. It was minus 40 in Kansas City last week.
Like, we ain't afraid of the Taylor Swift effect either.
I don't think Taylor's going to Buffalo, man. We'll see if she does that. Have she stepped foot in Buffalo
she'll
before?
go to Buffalo.
Okay, here we go, guys. It is Affirm right now, and it is affirming my convictions of being my favorite stock. So here it comes right back in again. We definitely love this name, but we should get a piece out. I'll bid 51s and see if we can get it downside right now. That should be a good one. As the net is just climbing here, so it's been fantastic. Google now is still that $1 club winner for everybody. I will do what's for lunch after money talks, okay? Because we got to get to see what the dollar's doing, right? See how much we can spend on lunch. But there goes Affirm. There it is. Yes, sir. Boom. And we also tweeted this out too a couple minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago or so, about our 2 new shorts. So there it is right there. What's up, Honest Abe? Yeah, you are right. I don't remember the last day we were red on Affirm. And it just goes back to what we're both saying. It's like there's reasons why Sticky No Nation exists. It's once you figure out the formula, then it's just about mixing it up, Breaking Bad style, okay? So let's just keep on doing that every single day, and we'll still be here. Again, today is another trophy raiser, so we're pretty happy with the performance with only 10 minutes to go before you get the best education on the internet. With the professor and Adera. Hit the bang again. And Obi hit it again.
Today.
And Obi hit it again.
Obi today. I didn't even know that.
Obi
I know what the topic is because Sharif told me. So I'm not looking. No, it's just what I like to do every time when I come on at 12. Generally speaking, I want to be on topic. Like I'm gonna talk about something that is the general lesson of the day, and then I'm just gonna try to add to it. So I know what it is in advance. The market knows what it is to the upside right now, because finally the market has broken these tops. It's just not everything is participating. Tesla is still at the lows of the day. We already talked about Affirm. We went for the dip buy in DraftKings. And it cannot seem to get back that high, but the fact the market's trying to go is pretty solid. I'll give it back to the 40. Let's get to the, there we go. I'll give it back to the 37.40. Like it showed you a nice consolidation above there. That's where the dip even happened. So if it can hold that level, great. If it doesn't, I'd have to go back into VWAP and then wait for that level. Rivian did get down to the lows. So eventually this stock decided to fall all the way into the low of the day. Do I necessarily want to go for the double bottom automatically? Tesla's off the bottom. I suppose if it holds 15, like if it holds 1593 or something, maybe go for the long, but I don't think you want to fight this. Stock is at the low of the day, market's breaking out the high of the day. That we'll just be happy to have gone long into VWAP and then short off of VWAP and not try to look for a second long. Let's get into money talk, see how the USD is doing, maybe even the Canadian dollar, who cares?
Yeah.
DXY getting a nice push to the upside. This would be its 5th day to the upside today. We also did get, just for some context as well, we did get earlier today, U.S. initial jobless claims coming in lower than expected, actually. 187,000 versus 207,000 expected and 203,000 prior. Also on the horizon for the USD to keep in mind, we have had the World Economic Forum going on all week, but we also do have Fed's Bostic speaking today at 12:05 p.m. Some other Fed speakers coming tomorrow as well, so lots of stuff to keep an eye on that might potentially be moving the DXY here, guys.
The professor just letting us know that Tesla is down at 212.
That's part of why I got out of Rivian. Like, I know you're saying the stock is tanking, but my plan was if the market was breaking the highs and looking strong, and Tesla was holding 212 to cover Rivian at the low of the day. So both those things were true. Tesla is holding 212, so to me, get out of Rivian. But Tesla, it seems inevitable we're going to get a test of that level any second now.
Out too early here on AMZN off the 200 period SMA. Tweeted it out. Okay, so there it is right there on Amazon. Out way too early as this name just continues to go, man. Upside. And by the way, the double table pounder right now, props up to anybody that's on Apple. To me, this was the easiest trade, honestly, for a very long time for me because we saw the catalyst and there it goes. I didn't, honestly, we talked about 188, 189. I just didn't hold it, and I don't feel too good about that. So not overly happy with the way the production went here on Apple because we don't have that many shares left, but it is a nice move. It is going to be my #1 net stock here today, obviously. Google's actually right with it right now as well, and the Google one I actually feel worse about because the reload was right here, and I have no idea why we didn't have that. It didn't show up on my scanners or anything. I should have had it up. I was just probably tweeting something out and doing something for you guys. But at the end of the day, there it goes. It's Google. Google and Apple basically 1-to-1 with me, but that's trading, and this is what's for lunch. All right, so what is for lunch today? Let's go have a quick little look. We've been talking a lot about chicken so far today, and I like chicken, and we're going to be having, so we had that chicken gumbo chowder yesterday, chicken chowder, that's what it was yesterday, and it was really good. But today, again, props up to our caterer, because guess what? If you like chicken and you like Cajun, then today's your day. It's a Cajun grilled chicken breast with I think I should be on like the shopping channel or something. With steamed, shout out, if anybody's out there, you work for the shopping channel or something, I can do it on the weekends that, I have so much.
I don't think you want that job.
I do want it, I think it'd be hilarious. With steamed Santa Fe rice
Probably not.
And beans. So there we go. We talked about a little bit of a South there. We got the Cajun, we got the rice and beans.
Rice and peas, man.
I know, I should have said peas, but it does say beans.
No, but so the joke about it is even when West Indians talk about rice and peas,
it's not peas.
It's actually half the time it is beans, but we just call it rice and peas. But look, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be delicious because I'm starving. But you're not starving if you have some longs in the market. I'm going to get to PayPal in a second, but we just asked about PayPal. You're back at the high of the day in DraftKings. We'll take one more fill in front of the high. We went dip buy instead. Now it's starting to run to B. Davis. Don't get me started on oxtail, okay? Don't, because I know I'm not having that. Actually, wait a minute. My parents are coming over. Maybe my mom's is gonna bring some food. Because my parents are actually coming tonight. And the last time she came over, she did bring oxtail. So God willing, I'm eating oxtail tonight. It's probably not gonna happen. But PayPal was just asked about. I'm not taking any new positions. I'm holding DraftKings through the top. We'll hold on to the Affirm short. I want to be very patient, but something just happened in PayPal as the market was broken the high. PayPal's up 1.3%. Sorry, let me go to the 3-minute chart. Like PayPal was cruising, and as the market's breaking out, this just came right back into VWAP here. So if it continues this trend, I think all signs point to the 60 level. It closed at 60, it double bottomed at 60. Either you hold VWAP or you hold 60 even on PayPal. The bad news for PayPal is it hasn't broken this slight downward trend. The good news is, look at how strong this was yesterday. Like super, super strong. Like I'd be looking for the 60 to hold if it continues this trend into the downside. I think you take a shot at that. Like it just reestablishes the 60 level, room to 62. I'd be looking to join the trend instead of fight it. The market's taking out these highs. But VWAP's trying to hold, and it's not doing a good job, so I'd wait for 60, something closer to 60 even.
As we were talking there, I thought I put a bid on Tesla, and I didn't. So I did now. I don't know if it's going to come back. This is the same trade we had yesterday. We had this 212 trade yesterday. I could try to find it on my Twitter, but I already know what we did. So yesterday right there, we got tired because we wrote it down. I could show you yesterday's sticky note. I don't know where it is. Oh, by the way, this is an old sticky note, 260 short on Tesla. I just found out right here. But anyways, we wrote down yesterday 212. So we didn't take it at all yesterday until right at the end where we actually got like 212 10 or something like that. Came right in, and then we took a piece. Remember, we took 2 pieces out in and around 213. Now the lines are different now, but we took some in and around to get that dollar. I think we even took 50 cents at one point because it was doing this. Then it took off right there into the end of the day. So I still feel like you do have a chance to get that Tesla 212 bump. And here it comes right now. So I am bidding. I'm bidding 212.26. Where did we get long there? No, we did not. Okay, so just watching a few things flickering now because the market's coming back down to the downside.
We're getting there.
Including, guys, we did it. Shout out to Brittany. Where are you at, Brittany, right now? Because we did it. We did it on Shopify. We got stopped out early, but we believed in the trade, like I told you guys. Believe in the trades. And boom, there goes Shopify, right back down to the downside. So if you're following me today, because we're going to wrap this up, 1 for 1 for Apple, obviously. Affirm, gates of hell. That's going to be 2 stocks traded. Those are 2 big wins, big wins. Another big win right here, Amazon. This one we let go. We just tweeted that out. That was a mistake. We let that go. That's 3 for 3. Google, do we need to do anything other than this? There's Google right now, $1.20 in the money. That's 4 for 4. Here's Intel. Boom, 5 for 5 for Intel. Shopify, how about 6 for 6? And Tesla, bad trade. Tesla, we just got in right now. So we're gonna go, it looks like 6 for 7 here with Tesla pending, and we just got into it. So despite Tesla, a 6 for 6 day, congratulations.
Yeah, I was just in and out of Tesla. That 212 level just broke. I think it's a pretty crowded trade because the battle just the slippage and then the battle on the way back up. There were a lot of people playing this in either direction here, so it's going to move $2 off of this stock price for sure. I'm seeing people sell big lots in front of the 212 level. Like 17,000 just went off at like 75. You don't usually see that kind of thing until like 80s and 90s. If it does test back higher, I mean, it feels like a short because it's a double bottom break, but I always prefer Rivian. I might go to Rivian. If I see a better setup in Rivian to the short side, I might just take that. Like Rivian off of 16 maybe, instead of messing around with Tesla, because Rivian off 16 looks really easy as opposed to that Tesla battle at 212.
We don't even really know what the problem, I mean, Tesla's going to come out. We don't even really know what the problem with Tesla is, do we? Like, what was going on today? There it is. Well, so there it is, man. We will put the final L in the coffin there for Tesla, which kind of does suck for sure. So that's an L there, and it just broke through 211. Did I get of it all? Yes, I did. Again, we can. I was breaking through 211.50, so that's going to be about a 70-cent hit there on Tesla. But like I said, you know, we did not want to stand in front of that falling knife all the way. So we'll take it out right there. It does suck to take the L on that, but that's, you know, we can do it. We can definitely afford it. So just so you guys know, we gave back there about 15% of our day right there. So again, you know, in being honest with everybody, that's what just happened to me right there. We gave back 15% of our day on that Tesla move, willing to do that.
And then you have to allocate. That's sort of the thing. Like when you're trading, you're allocating risk to a certain degree. I mean, some traders might go. I mean, Dan Emmons might speak to this. If you're a futures trader, you might allocate 100% of your daily stop loss to an individual futures trade because that's the only thing you're going to take. When you're day trading multiple stocks, it's a little bit different from that. I don't really know anybody that trades multiple stocks that'll say, well, each one of them is worth my day's risk. It kind of doesn't really work in that direction. So you're going to give. I gave a little bit back there as well on Tesla. I think it was worth the shot to 212. If you tried to get short, I think you would have gotten like 70s. I didn't take it. I'm going to prefer Rivian at this 16 level as I watch Tesla. If it continues to go lower, I'm going to try to short this off of 16. G-Money, I did notice that SoFi is leaking, but we got to get out of here. It is 11 o'clock. I'll be back at 2. We'll be back at 12, but you've got a trifecta in the middle of the day here to get your learn on. You have not just the professor, you have not just Adera, but you got a special appearance from Obi today. So good luck. Make sure you stay patient in your trading and get your learn on with the professor, Adera, and Obi.
Ciao.